around him, you know. There's a great little team around him. So we've got Fernandes, who plays for Manchester United, Bernardo Silva, who plays for Manchester City, Neves, who plays in the Premier League, Cancelo, Diaz. Like, there are some players on this Portugal team, some wonderful players. So, don't sleep on Portugal. They are going to be a real problem. They are potentially a bit of an underdog, actually. I think their odds are like 14 to 1. That means that if you put a dollar on them, a pound on them, and they win the World Cup, you would get $14, £14 back. That is obviously not the widest odds in the world, but if you compare it to like England, who are 8 to 1, or Argentina, who are 6 to 1, or Brazil, who I think are 4 to 1, like, they are quite an outsider. But if you look at that team, I mean, Silva, Fernandes, Leao, I don't know how you pronounce his name yet, Rafael Leao. I've heard a lot about him, He is meant to be like a real up-and-comer. There's a lot of excitement around him. So this is my first chance to see him. And he's number 15, playing on the left-hand side. We'll have a little read, actually. We'll go through the teams, and we'll have a little breakdown as to who the star man is. We already know who the rising stars are and all of that good stuff. So we will look to do that. Diego Costa in goal. Diaz, Pereira, Cancelo, Nuno Mendes, great player. Ruben Neves, great player. Just stacked. It's going to be really, really fun. We've had 2 games so far today, and our 2 games today have only resulted in 1 goal, so haven't really missed anything, to be honest. Switzerland scoring. I don't know if you saw, but when the Swiss guy scored, he stayed quiet. He didn't say anything because he scored against Cameroon, and Cameroon is where he was born. So he stayed like very respectful. He scored, did not celebrate. It's a little bit strange, but it's kind of nice. He's chosen to represent Switzerland, but that doesn't mean that he wants to necessarily do harm to Cameroon, the country of his birth. So I would imagine he had mixed emotions going into this game. Obviously, he wanted Switzerland to win. But, I thought that was kind of interesting, him scoring and not celebrating the goal. And then we just had Uruguay against South Korea. I saw bits of it. South Korea looks really good, and it ended 0-0. So nothing for Darwin Núñez, who is in my team. So that stings a little bit. My team not doing all that great, to be honest, in this first round of games. But, don't forget, actually, whilst we're on that subject, and I do want to jump into the chat, but whilst we're on that subject, if you are playing the fantasy game, and we will be taking a look at the fantasy game during these 2 streams we're doing today, if you are playing the fantasy game, make sure you make your changes tonight. You're allowed 2 free transfers. 2 free transfers. You need to make them tonight because tomorrow is the start of the next round of games. So tomorrow is a brand new week, right? So you've got to get your changes done tonight. 2 free transfers for you to do tonight. So if you are playing the game, just something to be aware of. It's certainly something that I've been looking at. I'm really tempted to bring in Saka, of course. He had a fantastic first game week. Can't see any reason why you can't repeat that. And I'm struggling a little bit as to who my second person should be. I think Giroud looks pretty good up front for France. That's kind of tempting. There's been a few Spanish players that have looked great, but the problem is Spain have got Germany next. So if you go for Spanish players, then you need to know that Germany could be a problem. So yeah, there's a few things to take into consideration, but just be aware that you've got those 2 free transfers. Leao is an excellent young player. Well, I will learn how to pronounce his name, Leao. I've gone with Leao, and I'll be the first to admit that that is probably wrong. Let's just have a quick read of his. He's a speed merchant. He's only 23. He plays for Milan. So, having begun his career at Sporting, Leao left in controversial fashion, unilaterally breaking his contract after the attack by fans on the club's academy in May of 2018. he ended up sentenced in court and had to pay compensation of 16.5 million. What the flip's this? What's going on? Broke his contract after the attack by fans on the club's academy. He ended up sentenced. Okay. I'll have to look into that more. But Leao continued his career at Lille, who sold him for 30 million to Milan, the club for whom he became an Italian title winner last year and distinguished himself as the best player in Serie A. Ibrahimovic often prefers self-praise, but in the midst of the party, he made a point of highlighting the Portuguese forwards. He said, "Our man, our phenomenon, and our future. No what more words are needed, my friend. You've had a brilliant season. Now keep your feet on the ground and work even harder, because this is just the beginning." So, I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Ibrahimovic, who is very much me, taking a moment to show some praise to this youngster, who apparently is a speed merchant and is playing for Milan at the age of just 23 years old. So Portugal might have something quite tasty there in Rafael Leao. But we'll have to... I don't know much about him, but he is definitely someone I'm looking forward to watch him play. What matches are you doing tomorrow, said Daz. Tomorrow, obviously, we've got England versus USA. Very excited for that. I should imagine it's going to be fresh and popping and exciting and bubbling away in the chat for that game tomorrow. So England versus USA. And also tomorrow, I believe it is, I want to say Netherlands. Let's have a little look. It should be Netherlands. It is Netherlands versus... There's Netherlands versus Ecuador. Is that correct? That is correct. In my mind, I was like, haven't they already played Ecuador? But that was Senegal, wasn't it? So Netherlands versus Ecuador and England versus USA. Those are the two games that we've got coming up tomorrow. I feel like Wales should be playing, shouldn't they? Wales should be playing. Have Wales the early game or something? And I looked at it and thought maybe we couldn't do it. I really don't want to be missing a Wales game, to be honest. Let's have a little look. Let's see what's going down in World Cup town. Let's have a little look. I don't remember missing a Wales game, but as I said, it could just be that it's on at a horrible time. Tomorrow, yeah, it is. It is. It's on at a horrible time. It's on at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that is going to be a bit of a problem. England, USA is on at 7. And then you've got Netherlands, Ecuador. I remember looking at it thinking, can I get up to do the Wales game? And then maybe go back to bed? But because I'm not really that bothered by watching Qatar versus Senegal. So, yeah, I remember now we had to make a tough decision on that one. So tomorrow we've got 2 games, Netherlands, Ecuador, England, USA. And, yeah, that is one that I am gutted at missing, to be honest, the Wales-Iran game. But it is what it is. I think it's because you're streaming Impact tonight, said Dortnight. That's it. It's because of Impact. They play Iran at 10. Yeah, the 10 a.m. games, I was just like, no, we can't do them because it's too early. And the thing is, like, I could go to bed earlier, but I'm sort of in a routine now. So the problem is, if I go to bed earlier and get up and everything, it's going to throw the routine out. I know what I'm like. I'll end up lying in bed, not getting to sleep. So then I won't get to sleep. I'll then be tired. It's going to throw out the whole weekend. It's going to be a nightmare. AEW fan said, can you run down today's scores? Yes. So you haven't missed much. Switzerland beat Cameroon 1-0. Quite a tight little game. Both teams doing well. And as I said earlier, the guy that scored for Switzerland was born in Cameroon. And so he didn't celebrate. And that was kind of interesting moment. And then the game we just had was 0-0. I mean, honestly, if you're going to miss a game, the one that you just missed is not the worst to miss. That ended 0-0. I feel like so far the best day we've had is probably yesterday. I loved yesterday. We got Germany against Japan with an upset, 2-1 Japan, right? That has really meant now that Germany are on the verge of going out. If Germany lose to Spain on Sunday and Japan beat Costa Rica, which looks likely to happen, Germany are out. Germany are out of the World Cup. So that is big, obviously, because I think a lot of people expected Germany and Spain to go through. So that result was huge yesterday. We then followed it up with Spain masterclass, 7-0. Absolutely incredible. I mean, when do you get to see some team win 7-0? At the World Cup, it just very, very, very rarely happens because these are the 32 best teams. All of these teams have had to qualify outside of Qatar. So, like Costa Rica have had to come through qualifying and they've earned their place. But, this is where, different parts of the world are just a little bit behind other parts of the world. And we all know that Europe is a powerhouse when it comes to soccer and football. So 7-0 though, wow, crazy. So yeah, we've got that yesterday, and then my God, I mean Canada. I bet you've woken up still in disbelief. Canada. I've watched so many videos about people talking about that game, and it's everything that we say. I mean, just people cannot believe it. Cannot believe that Canada did not score. And it seemed harder to not score than score in that game. It seemed like you really had to put the effort in to not put the ball in the back of the net. So it's stunning. But I think the one thing is Canada really showed that they belong. They really showed that they are a great team. And they have got every chance of getting out of that group. I think the other teams are, is it Morocco and Croatia? I mean, look, getting past Croatia is going to be difficult, but in all fairness, I don't think there's anything in that group that they should fear. They just went toe-to-toe with Belgium, who are a good team. They've still got good players. They might not be the second best team in the world like the rankings say, but they're still a great team. So Canada have got nothing to fear in that group. They should go into the next game confident, optimistic, borderline excited, because if they can just do the same performance as they did against Belgium, they just cannot miss the same amount of chances. Eventually it will go in, I'm sure. So yeah, some big games coming up. This is where the World Cup gets good now. I mean, not that the World Cup wasn't good anyway, but the World Cup up until this point has been just looking at teams, seeing what form they're on, looking at what players are going to do well, kind of just getting an idea, just a rough idea of who the early favourites are. And of course, it's a journey and things will change. But, we get to see the teams and we get to settle into the tournament. And that's what we've done over this first phase. Now it gets good. Now it gets really good, because all of a sudden teams that lost in that first round cannot afford to lose again. So all of a sudden they have got to come forwards. This sitting back and just making sure you don't lose, it can't exist as much now, because all of a sudden someone like Germany, they've got to beat Spain. They've got to beat Spain. There is no option to lose, and there is no option to draw. They have got to beat Spain, and the same for all those other countries that lost. USA are going to come out against England. We're going to see some battling games now. The first games are quite cagey. The teams are quite nervous. They sort of sit back. And, it's just a case of, two teams trying to keep it tight, don't want to lose the first game. They always say that, don't lose your first game. If you draw your first game, so be it, but don't lose your first game. And that's what makes the Canada result so disappointing. But it's not the end of the world. They've got to get results now. And so Canada have got to get results. And so this is why the next round of games is going to be that little bit more interesting. And then you get to the final group games where some of the groups are going to be close. And again, who goes through, who goes home. We'll get answers as to that in the third round of games. And then once that's done, we're into the knockout stage. And that is when we go to a whole different level. That is when teams start, going to extra time. penalties. We need a winner. One team goes through, one team goes home. The high stakes. It's now or never. Everything left on the pitch. Like, that's when the World Cup goes to a whole different stratosphere. So if you've been enjoying the World Cup so far, that's awesome. Just know that the next stage is going to go up a step. Then after that, it'll go up another step. And then after that, we go to the flipping moon. As soon as we get to the knockout rounds, things get really exciting. So, yeah, really enjoying it so far. I thought yesterday was the best day so far for me personally. And I think today's going to be tasty. We get to see Portugal, Ronaldo, and then we get to see the favourites straight after in Brazil. And then, as we said, tomorrow, second round of games. James said Man United's new name is going to be Apple United. I can't believe that news. That news has shocked football today. If you haven't heard, news broke about an hour ago that Apple might be interested in buying Manchester United. I mean, that is just... Honestly, sometimes things get said and you're just like, yeah, that won't happen or whatever. But Apple could easily buy Man United and they wouldn't even notice the money missing. They are so rich. They are so rich that they wouldn't even know they had them. Like, it's just not it's not even a consideration, really. Do you want to buy Man United? Yeah, give it a go. Should we put $1 billion in for a new stadium? Yeah. Give them 10 billion. Give them 10 billion. We'll see what we do with 10 billion. Buy the club. Give them $1 billion for players. $1 billion for the ground. Could you imagine the new stadium? Could you imagine the stadium? If you said to Apple, you now own Man United and they need a new stadium, could you imagine what an Apple stadium, football stadium, would look like? That they would want best in class, wouldn't they? Apple would want that stadium to just be, technology that no one else can have for another 50 years. So, oh man, I'm so excited. I hope it comes through. I'd totally be down for Apple owning Man United. There's been a lot of people saying I Trafford, which I really love. I Trafford instead of Old Trafford. I Trafford. I love it. Brilliant. Will apple pie be served? Totally. That's all they'll serve. Just apple pie and apple juice. That's it. That's your only options. That's your food and drink options. Everything is Apple Pay and apple pie and apple juice. That's all that's served at the ground. Apparently, Liao isn't starting. Okay, is the team news through, is it? The one that we've got here is... No, you're right. Look, it's been updated. Wow, you're right. He's not starting. After all that praise that we showered on him, he hasn't made the starting lineup. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised because this is the sort of game that you would probably look to play him in against Ghana. It's not really a high-risk game. Either way, I'm sure they know what they're doing. But, yeah, there we go. Team news coming in. So, a little bit different than what was expected, to be honest. But Ronaldo plays. Felix plays up front. João Felix, who is a fantastic player. Then you've got Bernardo Silva, Neves, Otavio, Fernandes, Cancelo, Diaz, Pereira, Guerrero, and then Costa in goal. So, not the team I was expecting, to be honest. Not the team I was expecting, but, they've got such depth. They are such a good side. They've got such a good squad that, it's not really a problem for them to make some of those changes. I did want to just read about Portugal and get stuck into that, but let me just read a few more comments first. Trini said, gosh, does that mean now every few months Man United will require an update? Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. Ryan Gambler said, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. I did put it on Twitter. Oh, and I put that video up as well, didn't I? Big thank you to everyone that checked that video out. I thought it was very kind of WWE to get in touch with us to send a few little ornaments through for the tree and everything. They are quite excited, actually, by the sounds of it. They sent me an email just the other day saying that they'd sent a box of some Christmas tree ornaments through. And my first reaction was, I have not even got a Christmas tree up. Like, what the flip am I going to do? So I had to go and buy a Christmas tree. I didn't even have one. So I had to go and buy one, then had to decorate it, and then obviously film and edit the video and everything. So they just want people to know, basically, that obviously there's going to be sales on WWE Euroshop, WWE Shop, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everything you would expect. But I think they just wanted to let people know about, like, the ornaments for trees and, like, some of the more holiday-themed things. So, yeah, thought that was kind of them to get in touch. So, yeah, appreciate everyone that's checked that out. But I didn't say Thanksgiving in the video because I thought, well, that's only for one day. And, like, if you watch it on the Friday, like, it's going to be a bit dated. So, but I did put it in the title. And I meant it as well. So, happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. So, Ryan said, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Who will Cristiano Ronaldo play for after the World Cup since his contract was terminated? Well, we don't know. I mean, to be truthful, I would imagine those conversations are happening with his agent, and I would imagine that what Ronaldo has done is he said to his agent, go and find out who the interested teams are. Don't disrupt me whilst the World Cup's on, but this is the kind of money that I'm looking for, and go and speak to teams. And once the World Cup is done, or once Portugal are out, then we'll sit down and have a look at the options, basically. But get me options. If I was Ronaldo, that's what I would say. Get me options. This is the wage that I'm looking for. I ideally want Champions League, but if there is no Champions League available and you've tried and it's just not there, then find me a team. Find me a team. Get me the money that I'm looking for. And get me options. I think Saudi Arabia would always come in for him, Saudi teams. Sometimes China spend that kind of money. China have got a weird relationship with football. I read an interesting article on the BBC where they were saying that Chinese people are watching the World Cup and they're a bit perplexed, a bit bemused, because they're seeing all this non-social distancing and they're still having lockdowns for COVID and all of that stuff. And they're all, like, really confused. And there's kids asking, like, where's the masks? And why are the people sat so close together? And apparently in China, it's, in parts of China in particular, it's there's still big lockdowns. And apparently COVID is still, like, a really big problem over there. I think it's still a bit of a problem everywhere, but I don't know. It's I don't know if we've had herd mentality or what's quite happened, but the world doesn't seem to be as bothered about it now. But China is. And so they are interested and they are watching the World Cup. And we've seen their team spend some big money in the past. So it might be somewhere in China. It might be somewhere in Saudi Arabia. You can never rule out the MLS, because the MLS could always come in for him. I mean, Ronaldo would be an incredible boost to a team, a franchise, and the MLS in general. So they could always come in. I feel like those are realistic options. If you want to talk about European teams, I think that's harder, to be honest, because I think the European teams are battling against other European teams. And so you need best in class. You need the best. If you're going to be in the Champions League and you're battling against Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, you need the best players. And I don't think Ronaldo qualifies right now in 2022, going into 2023. I don't think he is in that conversation now. I think before he was battling for the best player in the world. And I think now, I think he's comfortably outside the top 20. Comfortably outside the top 20. I reckon you could list 20 players, if not more, that are going to be better, put in a better performance than what Cristiano Ronaldo would now. And the problem is, if Ronaldo was cheap and affordable, everyone would go for him. That wouldn't be a problem. If he was if the wages were normal, then Ronaldo is still a top player, just not the very top anymore. But the problem is you are having to spend incredible sums of money. I mean, just eye-watering, the kind of money that the majority of clubs just do not have, the kind of money that immediately rules out 90-odd% of teams in Europe. Like 90-odd% in teams of Europe straight away, maybe even 99% straight away cannot afford him. Cannot afford him. So you are talking about the creme de la creme. You're having to look at the big European clubs. And those big European clubs, as we just said, well, they're going to be more interested in the 20 players that are better and cheaper than Ronaldo. But someone might take a chance. You know, there's been rumours that Chelsea or Newcastle might have been interested, but I read last night that both teams are not expected to make a move. So Chelsea and Newcastle, who had shown interest, I think, in the summer, I think now are thinking, no, that's not the right move for us. So I don't think they're going to make a move. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone's heard any rumors or any links. I haven't heard anything that's concrete or anything that's an indication as to where he's going. It's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. But I think he will have options, but they just might not be the Champions League options. It might be MLS, Saudi Arabia, China, places like that, you know, Qatar even maybe. I mean, anywhere that's got this kind of money. He needs to make a decision, really. He could play in the Champions League, and he could play for Roma or Lazio or maybe Borussia Dortmund, or, you know, there's plenty of teams, Sporting, of course, plenty of teams that he could go and play for. Milan, maybe he could go to Milan or something, but he would have to drop his wage, and I think he's reluctant to do that. So, Ryan Gambler, shout out to you. Hope that sort of answered the question. The honest answer is we don't know. No one has made their intentions clear at this stage, and I don't think they would want. To disrupt his World Cup. Like, Ronaldo right now is 100% World Cup. This World Cup means a lot to him. It's his last one potentially, so I'm sure he does not want the distraction right now. Potter doesn't want him in the system, says Minu Samuel. AEW fan said, what do you think about Dave's theory that AEW keep mentioning Punk because he's going to return? I think it's a theory. I don't know that he is aware of anything. I think that's just a theory that he's got. I don't know. I mean, my feeling is probably not going to go that way, only because, I mean, there'd been talk of like lawsuits and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there was a way of de-escalating the whole situation. I mean, I'm sure they were able to get him into a room, and I'm sure they were able to have good conversations, and I'm sure that it was, you know, respectable. But that had been something that had been building over that wasn't just a one-off incident, was it? You know, that was the breaking point. That was the tipping point. That was the moment of no return. And I don't know. I really don't know if they are going to be able to find a way of working together. If it seems like damage is done. You know, CM Punk doesn't really seem like the forgiving kind. I don't know. I'm leaning more like we won't see Punk come back. I mean, there'd been reports not long ago that they were now looking to buy him out of his contract. So I sort of feel like the news that's circulated is going in one direction, and then this Dave Meltzer theory is going in a different direction. So until I hear anything concrete or hear anything that makes me go, okay, well, maybe, then there's nothing to suggest it's going that way at the moment. Nothing that I've seen. Steven said Thunder Rosa has left AEW. Has she? That's news, to be honest, bud. I didn't know that. Let me just have a quick search. Thunder Rosa. Major update. This was 11 hours ago on Thunder Rosa. Oh, stripped of the championship. Update on the situation. Thank you, Thunder Army, for all the support. That was 13 hours ago. If you want to know how I feel, sign up for Patreon. If you want to know how I feel about it, then sign up to Patreon and I'll tell you. I don't think she has left, unless that's breaking news. I mean, all the news here is just about her being stripped of the title, but not that she's left. So, don't know, unless that's just breaking through. Millennial, shout out to you. Days, for you right now, who is the best player in the world? I'm saying Neymar, said Hasib. Well, to be honest, I mean, I haven't seen much of Neymar, so I really couldn't say, like, with much confidence. Haven't been watching much Champions League this year. I mean, there's no Man United in there, and we don't do the football streams anymore, so I just haven't been watching that much. So and I never watch foreign leagues, so I can't really say. The only thing I can say is that the bits that I've seen and the conversations I've heard and the buzz that seems to be around Valverde at the moment seems to be like he is in the running to be one of the best players in the world. But how he would compare to like Neymar right now, I honestly don't know. But Valverde is the name that I keep hearing about, and the buzz seems to be very loud around him at the moment. Minu said, is it possible for you to check Twitter? I've just tagged you in a funny post. Well, it depends what Twitter you've put it on, doesn't it? Because of the situation. I don't have access to one of my Twitter accounts because I posted a naked picture of myself, and apparently that's against the rules. And I'm only joking. Dark Knight said Mbappe is the best in the world. Would Facebook United or Amazon United be better? Oh, I feel like Apple is quite credible, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like Apple make like quite cool products. Could you imagine an Amazon United? I mean, Amazon's cool. I like using them. I've shopped with them. I buy stuff off them, but it's not really cool, is it? It's not really cool. It's just like a logistics service, like, you know, they don't really make the cool futuristic technology that Apple do. I think Amazon United would be less cool. And Facebook, I think Facebook's a bit cringe because of Mark Zuckerberg. So I feel like that. I don't feel like Apple is cringe. I could be wrong, but I don't get the impression that Apple are that cringe. If Apple bought United, I'd be all right with it. But, oh, God, if Amazon bought United, then I'd probably still be all right with it, but I'd be really worried about what we would be doing because I don't think of classy. I don't see Amazon as being that, like, classy. But Apple are quite sleek and cool and futuristic, and yeah, for me it'd be worse. Facebook or Amazon would be worse than Apple. Right, let's have a look, shall we, about Portugal and talk about their strengths and weaknesses. So Cristiano Ronaldo's power is on the wane, and Fernando Santos has lost some of his credit that he gained in 2016. But Portugal have never had a stronger squad. That's interesting. Never had a stronger squad. So the plan, recent performances and results have raised doubts about Portugal's possibilities to go far. In particular, a defeat to Serbia, which sent Fernando Santos' team to the World Cup qualifying playoffs, and Spain, which meant they missed out on the Nations League finals. The two losses exemplify the team's current inconsistency as they fluctuate between playing some splendidly attractive football and retreating in fear of conceding and defending badly. The team is capable of thrashing Switzerland and Czech Republic, but have also struggled in 2 games against Ireland. Despite the upheaval, Santos' optimism heading into the tournament seems as high as ever. In 2016, he announced that the team would not come home until after the final, and they won the Euros. This time, he has said, the best is yet to come, and it will come this year. I can't be more concrete on that. The Portugal squad have enough quality and quantity when it comes to world-class players to think about an unprecedented World Cup title. But they arrive in Qatar with huge question marks around two unavoidable figures. Pepe, who will be 40 next year, has struggled physically, and Cristiano Ronaldo has had to deal with the fact that he is not a certain starter at Manchester United, a situation that came to a head following his extraordinary interview. Despite the uncertainties, Santos is likely to stick to his 4-3-3 that often turns into a 4-4-2 as Bernardo Silva moves from the right of attack and into the middle. Rafael Leao, who has been one of the best players in Serie A this season, is likely to be the main benefactor from Diogo Jota's injury and will start on the left side of attack, only he isn't. The coach winning 2016 Euros granted Fernando Santos a place in Portuguese footballing history, but recent results have eroded some of the credit he gained. Adding the 2019 Nations League title did not hurt, of course, but elimination in the last 16 from the 2018 World Cup and especially Euro 2020, as well as the struggles to reach Qatar, has increased criticism of the 68-year-old. Santos appears unruffled, though, and when asked about his future after the Nations League loss to Spain, he said, "The defeat doesn't concern me. We conceded a goal at the end. I have a contract until 2024, and that is that." However, that contract has also caused some damage to his reputation, as he is being belatedly paid 4.5 million in tax to authorities after he was discovered he was being paid through a company rather than as an individual. Star player. My path with the national team is not over, says Cristiano Ronaldo. When receiving an award from the Portuguese FA in September, I still feel motivated and my ambitions are as high as ever. I want to continue being a part of the team for the World Cup and the 2024 Euros. However, there are doubts about his situation at Man United, which we now know about, and they have not got any better in the lead up to the World Cup. Ronaldo apologised on social media about walking out on Man United. He said sometimes moments get the better of you, but the Portuguese record goal scorer could not possibly be in his best shape going into this tournament. So there we go. So that's a little bit of information on Portugal. Let's just read a little bit. We won't read anywhere near as much about Ghana, just so that we are up to speed with everything. So this is a young Black Stars team in transition. The quality is there, but this World Cup could be a spectacular failure or a rip-roaring success. So Ghana outsmarted Nigeria in the playoffs and have added players of dual nationality since then, especially in defence and on the wings, and they do look better for it. Weaknesses: where will the goals come from? That is the main question for the coach Ado. If that is answered, then Ghana might go far in Qatar. They're ranked 61st in the world, so they're certainly not a team that I'm expecting anything from. So it says confidence is low, rarely low amongst Ghanas when the national team are preparing for a tournament. Going into Qatar, expectations are being managed, and rightly so. The Black Stars have struggled for form across their past 12 games, winning only 2. Even the two-legged playoff success against Nigeria that secured qualification was memorable for being a great spectacle, only for a remarkable tactical discipline that produced 2 draws and the team squeaked through on away goals. So they're saying that they looked good, but they still only got 2 draws, and it was away goals that put them through. So there we go. Ghana, we know a little bit about them. They had to come through qualifying against Nigeria. They have added some new players, people of dual citizenship, dual nationality, and they're looking a bit better for it. But I still think this is going to be a problem for them. I think they're going to lose this quite comfortably. And as we said, this is our first game of today. And then we've got Brazil after. Millennial said, what would you do if you found a wallet with 2,341,300,000 and £211 in cash on the floor? Would you call the police or would you participate on the show Golden Balls? Well, to be honest, I mean, there's not much I could do because if a wallet's got that much money in, I can only imagine that it's massive, because I would imagine that amount of money is, I mean, like a size of a room. Like that's you ain't really doing much, to be honest, with that. I mean, could you skim a little bit off? Maybe. But I would always be aware of CCTV cameras because they are everywhere in this country. So, there's not much you can do, really. So, I mean, look, if it was in the countryside, maybe we've got a conversation to be had about maybe skimming a little bit off. But all I would say about skimming a little bit off is you're leaving fingerprints. There's DNA everywhere. You're going to get found. You're going to get caught. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. Is the temptation there? Sure. Of course the temptation's there. But, no. My honest answer is I wouldn't do anything with it. I wouldn't do anything with it. I'd call the police and let them know. There's a situation that you need to be aware of. Because maybe some people would get a van and, like, chuck a load of it in the van. But I feel like if you did that, you'd be on the run for the rest of your life. Like, someone's coming for that money. Like, no one's letting that money go. Someone's coming for that money, and they're not going to stop. And, yeah, I think that would be hassle, to be honest. I've tweeted you some about the next lot of games. Yeah, but where have you tweeted it? Because I don't know if you've heard the news. Bang. Rainbow items will be allowed at Qatar World Cup from the next set of games. FIFA have told federations that they received assurances from Qatar that no items will be confiscated from now on. That's cool. So there we go. They will not be confiscated anymore. That's cool. Boom. Okay. Let's go. I've got so many windows open. There we go. I'm just waiting on the bus home from my course. How are you, Edward? Hope you're well, buds. Hope you have had a good day learning your GCSEs and yeah, doing good. Excited for the game, which starts in 16 minutes time. Vanessa said, I would collect the rewards. Yeah, that's true, actually. There probably would be an award unless that money had been left by some wrongdoers, and then there might not be an award. But then I've got to think they've got it from somewhere, so someone would have a reward, wouldn't they? Yeah, I'm with you, Vanessa. I'm with you. We think alike. Iniki Williams' younger brother, Nico, played 15 minutes with Spain yesterday, says Millennial. I say if you're injured and you can't defend a title by a month, then you should give up the title, says Bonkers. Alex said, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I never used to love it because it had no effect on my life. But now it has a big effect on my life because of Black Friday. And we get loads of sales. So I'm very excited because already a load of games on Steam have been marked down. So that's great. And I'm just waiting to see if any other bits get marked down as well. In Black Friday, I've got a little list of things that I'm looking for. So happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. It is greatly appreciated. Are we ready for some football? Born ready. No fear, we were born ready. Hawkins Jr. said, I work from home and I've got you on an iPad, a game on my computer in front of me. Be well, said Hawkins Jr. Hawkins Jr., shout out to you, dudes. Yeah, it seems like people are ready for today's action. And as we said, things get serious tomorrow when we've got England versus USA. I'd imagine the chat is going to be popping off for that. England taking on USA. And I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good game. And obviously we'll get a better idea as to how that group looks because Wales will play that morning. And so obviously that result is going to be massive for both England and USA. USA more so. There'll be plenty to talk about tomorrow. When will we get some gaming streams? There are no plans for gaming streams, unfortunately. Would you represent the UK at Eurovision? If they asked me to, then yes, I would. Now, Eurovision's in Liverpool next year. So we actually finished second, which was stunning. No one expected it. We finished second in the Eurovision last year. First was the Ukraine. So as a result of that, obviously they can't go to the Ukraine next year. So they're coming to Liverpool. So yeah, fun. Edward said, I'm good and my course is going great. Rodzilla said, Days was the kid that everyone bullied to go in the net. That is so true that it's actually a little painful as to how true that actually is. I was the kid that didn't know anything about football because I didn't play it. I didn't watch it when I was at primary school. So when I got to secondary school, high school, I was like, okay, I really need to learn about this because it's the only conversation anyone was having. And so, yes, I was the kid that was shoved in goal. And because I was in goal all the time, no one ever wanted to go in goal. No one wanted to go in goal because everyone wanted the ball and they wanted to score goals. But I was quite happy to go in goal. I really was. I would go in goal and, I got all right at it. I was never going to make it in the Premier League or anything like that by any means. But I reckon I could have played for a local team. I mean, I was playing in goal during lunch times and then I would go home, have something to eat, and then I would go down the park and play with my mate over the road and I'd be in goal again. So I certainly got a lot of practice. I think if I'd worked on my fitness, I think because I was a good little shot stopper, you know, I was an all right little shot stopper. So I reckon I could have done something for a little local team, but wasn't to be. Long Beach Hippie said, I was the kid that always scored and made him cry. Nice. Very good. Rodzilla said, me too. I'm left-footed. I could have been the next Ryan Giggs if someone had just believed in me. That's it, isn't it? No one believed in us. You're exactly right. We were left to fend for ourselves. We were not given the same opportunities as other people. Otherwise, we could have been at World Cups and swanning around on yachts. But you're absolutely right. We didn't get the same opportunities. Horrific. Millennial said, I was always the keeper, but that's because I was really fat. Well, as long as you was happy, mate. As long as you was happy. In all fairness, if you was really fat, you might not want to do a lot of running around. I don't know. A lot of fat kids at my school, were defenders, to be honest. I was in goal, and then there was a couple of chunky monkeys in front of me, which was good, actually, because it meant I had less to do because the ball was just smashing off them. So that was kind of useful. I always found at school that the chunky kids were either in goal or they were right in front of goal as defenders. So maybe you could have been a defender. And I could have gone in goal because I wasn't that big as a kid. I was just useless. So maybe we could have been a dream partnership. Who knows? Long Beach Hippie said, I played soccer until I was 14 and I discovered drugs at that age. Well, you changed one vice for another, didn't you? You was addicted to the beautiful game and then you got addicted to drugs instead. And, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Bort Lesser said, will Ronaldo score a goal? Well, I can promise you that he is going to try his absolute bestest He will give his absolute everything to do it. And I think he's got a good chance. I actually am not... I don't have high hopes for Ghana. What we just read about Ghana is a bit surprising, actually. I gave them no chance. They managed to get through a playoff against Nigeria. And Nigeria have historically been okay, but they're not that great at the moment. But Ghana, I've got them with really good transitions in midfield. They've got the new dual nationality players that have been brought in. Some of their recent performances have not been great. And I don't know. I'm just not really that excited about Ghana. I really don't see this as being a problem for Portugal. But that write-up sort of suggested that on their day, they could be a real problem for Portugal. So I'm sort of interested to see how this goes. Maybe they can keep it tight and maybe they can frustrate Portugal. We'll have to see. Just having a look at some of their recent results, and to be perfectly truthful, I don't know obviously who was playing, but just a week ago, 1 week ago, Ghana beat Switzerland 2-0. Again, it was a friendly. You never know who's actually playing. You never know if it's just a fitness thing. So, it's hard to say like how good those teams would have been, but still the result, you can't put anything past the result. They beat Switzerland 2-0. Switzerland winning earlier today. Ghana also beat Nicaragua 1-0, but back on the 23rd of September, they actually lost to Brazil 3-0. There's no shame in that, though. They drew with Chile. They lost 4-1 to Japan. So we've seen them play Japan in June, and they lost 4-1. They drew with Central African Republic, who I've never even heard of. They beat Madagascar 3-0. They drew with Nigeria twice. We already knew about that. They lost to Comoros. Comoros? They lost to Comoros earlier this year, 3-2. They drew with Gabon. They lost to Morocco. They lost to Algeria. I don't know. I don't think... The result against Switzerland's quite impressive, but that really seems like an exception. And as we said, it was just a week ago, and I'd imagine the players just did not want to get injured this close to a World Cup. So I don't know really how much we can read into that. So I'm not expecting much from Ghana, but let's see. Let's see. They might provide a surprise. Let's have a look actually, and see what their star players are like for Ghana. There might be like some names that jump out. Star player is Kudus, apparently. Mohamed Kudus plays for Ajax. Central midfielder, attacking midfield, false nine, winger. Kudus can play all these positions. He can score from all of them as well. His trajectory has been off the scale since his move from the Rightio Dream Academy to FC Nordjylland in 2018. 2 years later, he signed for Ajax, and this season he has been shone in the Champions League. Ajax may have gone out in the group stages, but Kudus got 3 Man of the Match awards in their 6 games. He has been accused of holding onto the ball a bit too long when playing for Ghana, but he shrugs off that criticism, saying, "I play how my coaches tell me to play, and if my playing style is not a problem for them, then that is okay with me." So there we go. Kudus in midfield, 22 years old, plays for Ajax. He is someone to keep an eye on. They do have Thomas Partey, who is really having a great season with Arsenal. Injuries have hampered Partey's development after he joined Arsenal from Atletico Madrid in 2020. But this season, he has blossomed into one of the best midfielders in the Premier League and powered the Gunners to a 5-point lead at the top of the table. Has not yet been able to put his stamp on the national team, but when he is not playing, it is quite obvious that something is missing structurally. Has a knack of scoring important goals for Ghana, none more so than against Nigeria in the playoff that sealed the team's ticket to Qatar. So Partey is the midfield engine. Kudus is the star player. They've got Fatawu Isahaku. Fatawu Isahaku. is all eyes on this phenomenal, talented 18-year-old with Man United among those linked to him. Only joined Sporting in April, but it may not be long that he stays in Portugal. His 5-year career includes a 60 million release clause, was described as arguably the best African prospect of his generation. In the Guardian's Next Generation feature, he stood out at last year's Under-20 African World Cup of Nations, where he was named player of the tournament, despite being younger than the majority of his opponents. He made his senior international debut in the qualifying win over Zimbabwe last year and spoke of what it would mean to be called up for Qatar. A World Cup is a very big thing. Everyone dreams of it. I just cannot wait to be there. So, certainly in midfield, they have got some interesting people. They have got Kudus, they've got Partey, they've got Issa Haku, who is definitely on my radar now. Andre Ayew up front as well is their captain. So their captain is up front. Obviously, they've got Jordan Ayew, who plays for Crystal Palace, but they've got Andre Ayew, who is their captain. They are up front. I mean, I must admit, I'm looking at this team, and there's players from, like, Premier League. There's players from, like, you've got Lamptey of Brighton. So Lamptey at the back. You've got Amartey as well, who plays for Leicester. You've got Salisu, who plays for Southampton. Like, there's actually quite a few names in this side, more than I knew, to be honest. So Ghana are surprising me here. I'm surprised by Ghana already, and we haven't even kicked off. How hasn't Portugal scored about 5 goals yet, said BSA. We haven't started yet. What are your thoughts on Ronaldo, Man United? Shout out from Aruba. Thoughts on Ronaldo, Man United? I think it's good that he's gone. I think that it's best for him. It's best for Man United. It's best for everyone that he's not there anymore. So I wish him all the best. I don't feel any ill will towards him, but he needed to leave. Alex said, who do you see as the next generation of future soccer players? Well, I mean, you're seeing them coming through. I mean, you're seeing the likes of Gavi and Pedri. You're seeing Bellingham. You know, these players are all, 19 years old. I mean, to be playing a World Cup at that age, you know, when you play football, Ronaldo, for example, is 37, 38. So some of these players potentially have got close to 20 years. They've got close to 20 years ahead of them. So it's amazing. It's amazing what they could go on to achieve. How many World Cups they could play at. So Gavi, Pedri, Bellingham, Saka, that Issa Haku. Is he actually playing? Is he Issa Haku? We've got Partey. We've got Kudus. It doesn't look like that Issa Haku has actually made the starting lineup, unfortunately. So we might have to wait for him to come off the bench. Should we have a look, see if he's on the bench? Should be. I think the whole squad is. There he is. So Abdou Fatawu Issa Haku is someone that I'm definitely looking to come off the bench. Lamptey as well on the bench is maybe a surprise. Great player. Yeah, I honestly, having read that stuff, I'm way more excited for this game now. Way more excited. I was a chunky monkey defender as a lad, and now I'm the defender of everything that's evil. James said, Gakpo to United is pretty much a done deal, says James. How do you feel about that? I mean, he's meant to be one of the top players in the Eredivisie, Netherlands top league, but I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I think my problem is that if we lose Ronaldo, I sort of want a number 9 as a replacement, and to get Gakpo, that's not a like for like replacement, is it? Gakpo, I think, can play as a 10 or play on the wing, but he's not a number 9. So I don't know. I'm a bit torn on it, to be honest. Like, good player, but where's our number 9? Like, I understand we can go with Rashford and we could go with Martial, but I feel like are they good enough? Are they good enough? Like, maybe Rashford could be, maybe Martial, but Martial's so inconsistent, so inconsistent. Like, I really do want like a world class. When you look at Man City and they've got Haaland, for example, you know, you look over at Liverpool, they've got Darwin Núñez, who is starting to come good now. And then you look at Man United and we've got Rashford, who has just had a really bad season. And I was always like, no, keep Rashford. People were like, oh, would you sell him? I'd be like, no, he'll come good. So I was always waving that flag for him. But, you know, is he an out-and-out number 9? Is he someone that's a guaranteed starter? Is he strong enough to be that 9? I just don't know. I don't know. I like him, but he's not a world name striker. Yeah, I'd like a number 9. I think there's 9s out there. I would like a world class 9. You know, I mean, we were linked with the likes of Harry Kane not that long ago, and you know, maybe he wouldn't be the right move now, but you know, I'd like to see a nice number 9 come in. But I mean, listen, in Ten Hag, we trust. If he wants Gakpo, then go and get Gakpo. Yeah. So if he wants Gakpo, then so be it. I think that's a concern for Sancho though, because I've got to think it'll be Gakpo on one wing, Anthony on the other wing, and Rashford down the middle. I've got to think that will be our attack with Martial and Sancho as options. Is Sancho becoming the new Jesse Lingard? That's my concern. Is he going to become the new Jesse Lingard? Wish we could have gotten Kunku. Man United should try and sign Morata, says Millennial. Tom said, I don't think Day sleeps, or he might have a twin brother who does shifts with him. No, I do sleep. I actually I didn't get great sleep last night. I had plenty of time to sleep. I mean, we did the AEW stream, and I made sure, I mean, we could have done the stream before, which would have been 0-0 Uruguay against South Korea. So I'm pretty glad we didn't, to be honest. But I made sure to, you know, make sure that I gave myself time because it's going to be a long tournament. What's the point in burning yourself out? So, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling wide awake and excited for the couple of games that are about to come up. Why does the ref randomly blow his whistle? He was about to intercept. Why does the ref randomly blow his whistle? Don't know what you mean. It's kicked off. Yeah, I was just thinking this. Where is it? I don't have the game. I don't actually have it on. I've still got... I don't know if, like, ITV is behind or something. I'm just sat here and I've got no game. Hang on. Yeah, it must have froze. It honestly must have froze. I was sitting here waiting for it to start, and I was like, is it delayed or something? And I've just turned it off, turned it back on again, and the game is up and running, so we are underway. I wondered where it was. I saw that we were like 4 minutes in, and I was like, I'm sure this was meant to have started. Yeah, I can only imagine it had frozen. It must have froze at some point. They were still talking, but we were still in the studio. So I was watching them chatting away in the studio. And, yeah, weird. I can only imagine that the TV had a bit of a moment, had a froze, and then restarted, but must have restarted like a little bit behind or something. Because this is like one of those digital TVs, you know, that you can pause it and rewind it and all that stuff. But anyway, we're underway then. We are underway. Don't ask me what's happened in the first 4 minutes. Ain't got a flip. I can tell you that Ghana are in white and Portugal are in their traditional, is it red, burgundy type colours? Boom. Game on. Come on, Portugal. Harif said, no, there's nothing here. Right, well, we've got it. It is up and running and ball being launched forwards. As you said, we were chatting about some of the players. Really excited to see this one. We've got Ronaldo on the pitch. There he is. So, looks like a throw into Ghana, and it's really deep in their own half. I love that Ghana shirt. It's so clean, and it's really nice. It's just like plain white. It's really bright, really sharp, and it's got some like nice Ghana colours on the around the sleeve. It looks really cool. I really don't like the Portugal shirt. It's kind of like red, and then it's got like a line down with green in the bottom part. Don't know. Doesn't really do it for me. Okay, they're on the ball, Portugal, driving forwards. Goes over to the left-hand side. Ball being played back to the midfields. And Portugal on the ball, and there's a bit of pressure being applied. I mean, what I will say is good start by Ghana. I mean, by the looks of it, there's been a couple of shots for Portugal, but nothing on target. And goes all the way back to the keeper. So they've weathered like this kind of really early storm. Bit of nice pressing though. Ball being launched forward. Headed forward in the middle of the park. Bouncing around. Comes to the Ghana defence. Collect the ball. And knock it back to their keeper. Come on, Portugal, said Legend Killer. Dark Angel said, who are we cheering for? I mean, Ghana, to be honest. I think if ever, for me personally, if ever it's like a game that England aren't involved in and it's like two teams that are, you've got such a heavy favourite, I think you naturally always go with the underdog. And the underdog here is definitely Ghana. Ghana, the lowest ranked team at this World Cup. Lowest ranked team at the World Cup. Inaki Williams plays for Ghana and his brother plays for Spain, said Easy99. Easy99, hope you are well. Long Beach Hippie said, Ronaldo is who I chose as my captain. Not bad. Not bad. I could definitely see him getting something against Ghana. It's not a bad shout at all. Don't forget, if you are playing the fantasy game, I did mention this at the start of the stream, but if you are playing the fantasy game, you've got 2 free transfers to make, and you need to make them tonight. By the time we actually start the games tomorrow, then we are into the second week, so... Ball being played forward by Ghana, couldn't control it, though. It's cut through the middle, Ronaldo! Oh, and it's saved by the keeper. Ronaldo goes down. He was one-on-one with the keeper there. That's a big moment for Ronaldo, and it's all a mistake in midfield. Look at that, straight into Ronaldo. Yeah, the touch isn't where he wanted it. The keeper did a good job of coming out. Ronaldo going down. It looked like it was Kudus, who we've been singing the praises of. It looks like he was the one that gave the ball away in midfield. They're asking, is that a little bit of rustiness, that first touch? Ball going straight out. Right, throw in by Ayew. Ghana down in Portugal's half. That was a good opportunity there for Portugal. Ball was played through. Ronaldo got it. His first touch just meant the ball got away from him. It meant that it was then like a 50-50 battle, really, as the goalkeeper was coming out. Ronaldo got his foot on the end by stretching, but obviously didn't make the best of contact, and it easily just bounced off the keeper, who made himself quite big. Ronaldo wanted to score. He tripped over the keeper, said Harith. Alex said, this is going to be great. Long Beach Hippie said, the pressure. Ghana, feel the pressure. Easy99 said, if you want to see any underdog win this World Cup, who would you choose? I would probably choose... Well, I'm thinking USA. The only thing with USA, though, is I would think eventually it's going to click for them. I think that they will eventually actually have a consistently good team. I mean, the world has been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the USA to deliver that team, and it's still not quite clicked for them, but it will eventually. So USA would be the easy answer because there's so many people in our community from America, and it'd be great for them to, have that to celebrate. I've just got a sneaky suspicion you're going to have a great team in the future. I just think that you're going to have a team that's going to be battling and competing for World Cups. Naturally, ball in the middle, cut out by Ghana. So I'm thinking maybe a team that I don't think are going to be in that situation might be a better pick. Maybe a team that, if you give it to them this time, they'll never get it. They'll never get it again. Oh, ball into Ronaldo, but it's put wide. Ball was whipped in, and it's put wide. I mean, that's why, you think, maybe someone like Ghana, for example. I mean, I can't see Ghana ever having a team that's going to be competing for the World Cup. Ghana are a team who are just grateful to be at a World Cup. You could say Wales as well, in all fairness. Again, I don't think I can see Wales ever having a team that's going to be able to win a World Cup. But, they've had to wait 60 years just to get to this one. So could you imagine? The only problem is if they win the World Cup, they would more than likely rub it into England, the fact that we'd both won one World Cup each. So I would imagine the banter would be on a different level. So you might have to take that into account. But for me personally, I wouldn't mind Wales winning it, of course, because I can't see them winning it in the future. And I think they would probably agree with that. That for them to have a whole crop, a whole team come through at the same time is probably unlikely. But yeah, with the US, US, I wouldn't mind US winning it, of course. I think it'd be great for the community, but I really think that it's going to click for the US at some point. It's going to click as the game continues to grow, and it might not be growing at a rapid rate, but it is growing as it continues to just take steps forwards. More people will play it, and you'll have more players to choose from. I mean, this US team is already better than the one from 4 years ago. In fact, they're saying this is the best US team you've ever had. If everyone was fit and everyone was actually, not injury-free, you may have got that win over Wales the other day. Ghana battling away in midfields. But yeah, 4 years' time, I expect USA to have maybe not win it, but have a team that's going to get through to the knockout rounds, have a team that's going to cause some problems, cause some upsets. I think in 4 years, you'll see USA will have took another big step forwards. Canada look good. Hopefully they can do well, said Warsaw till I die. Warsaw till I die. Shout out to you. They look really good. Millennial said, I would love to see Senegal up there. Yeah, any of those nations. I'll tell you another I was thinking, Denmark. Denmark, because they are underdogs. They came close at the Euros. I don't know that they'll ever have a team that will win the World Cup. They've actually won the Euros before, though. So Ghana trying to get on the end of it, but it goes all the way through to the keeper. But I don't know that they'll ever have a team that can win a World Cup. And, Ericsson and his heart attack and all of that. I think there's a lot of goodwill towards Denmark. A lot of goodwill towards them. So that was a name that kind of came to mind. But I'd still choose someone like Ghana, to be honest. I think it'd be funny. The lowest ranked team wins the World Cup. Imagine that. Belgium, never the Euros. Ghana have got a brilliant squad. I hope they go far, said Kieran. Legend Killer says, come on, Portugal. Easy99 said the Prince of Saudi Arabia gave a Rolls Royce to each of Saudi Arabia's staff and 4.2 bill. 4.2 bill. What's that? Imagine they win the World Cup. What gift would they get then? So they gave. So what? He gave a Rolls Royce to all of the Saudi Arabia team and staff. That's amazing. That is amazing. I doubt he gave them 4.2 billion. I doubt he did that. I mean, I know they've got money, but why would he? I mean, you could buy. Chelsea went for that. I doubt he gave them that. The Rolls Royces, I can believe. Because how much? I don't even know how much a Rolls Royce is. But say you have to buy 40 Rolls Royces or something. Like, I could see him doing that, but not the 4.2 billion. Million, maybe. Denmark won it in 92. Yeah, that's true. They won the Euros. They've never won the World Cup. Belgium. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, Belgium have got a team that could have won a World Cup. Came close to winning a World Cup. But didn't do it. Do I hope they do it this time? I don't know. I've got weird feelings about Belgium. I mean, it's kind of. I feel like at first it was really cool because they're a nation that have never really done anything. Belgium, and they got this. You know, we were just talking about a crop of players coming through. Well, Belgium did exactly that. They had this weird crop of players come through that were just amazing in all areas. And that generation is fading now. But I feel like they've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and it's never like worked for them. I feel like they've had. I don't want to say they've had their opportunity. They've had their time, but I suppose in a way I do feel that. They had the team to do it. They had the opportunity to do it, and they never got it done. So, do they deserve to be the team that I handpick and give this underdog victory to? I don't know. Ball being passed around by Portugal. So, 4 shots by Portugal, 1 on target. That 1 on target was by Ronaldo that cracked off of the goalkeeper's chest. It was an all right opportunity. If his first touch was better, then it would have been a fantastic opportunity. But right now, Portugal are just passing it around. Ball coming over to the right-hand side. Portugal being patient. Days, can you name all the World Cup winning nations? Probably not, to be honest. I don't think I'd be able to. All the recent ones, but I mean, going back to like the 30s and the 50s. I mean, I remember there being like a lot of Uruguay in the early stages, Italy in the early stages, Germany, England, Brazil. I feel like, but I mean, like, could there be a cheeky nation in there that I forget? Probably. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at being able to go back to like the 80s. But like when you go back to the 70s and beyond, then it starts to get a bit rusty. I know Brazil were great in the 70s. I know that. I know Netherlands have never won it. Germany have won it 4 times. France have won it twice. I think Brazil have won it 5 times. Argentina have won it twice. So I'm pretty good going back to about the 70s. And then Brazil in 70, but like, yeah, 74, I'm not sure. That could have been a Germany. 78. Come on, Portugal, said Legend Killer. What's frustrating as a US fan is the women's team is phenomenal, said Shauna. With very little monetary support. The men's team has always had money, but they're mediocre. I'm hopeful for the men's team. Well, to be honest, I mean, I feel like what you did was you got onto the women's game early. I think when I think about women's football, I really think that about like the USA being one of the first, if not maybe the first, to really embrace women's football. That meant that you had a lead, a head start over the other nations who, to be frank, were very slow. Even England was very, very slow at getting into the women's game. It's there now. You know, the success that England saw at the Euros means that we are firmly behind the women's game now. But I think that's why the little money you spent on the women, what you did spend was still significant compared to the other nations. But other nations are starting to catch up now, so I think you'll find that the women's game is going to get more competitive. In the men's game, I mean, you're playing catch up with the men's game, to be honest. Ghana almost through. Ball is in the Portugal half, and almost that Portuguese defence was broken. Now we're seeing Portugal looking like they're going to break. Ghana getting back, and good shape actually by Ghana. Ball in the middle. Being pressed, ball being dinked up, headed clear there by the Ghanan defence. Comes over to the left-hand side. Whipped into the middle, nice little 1-2. Shot goes well over. I think that ball was intended for Ronaldo in the middle there by Joao Felix, but couldn't find him. So, yeah, I think, look at the Ghana fans, man. Bringing that party atmosphere. Brilliant. So, yes, I think that's why, you know, the amount of money you spent on the men's game means that you're seeing little return. It's because there's so much money in the men's game that you are unfortunately playing catch up. But, I mean, you're the richest nation in the world. If you want to catch up, if you want to get there, if you really want to put a focus on it, which I think you will because you're hosting it in 4 years, and I think that the investment will increase, the training will increase, the training facilities will increase, the understanding, the actual coaching. I think all of that is going to increase over the next 4 years. And I expect USA to have a decent team, actually, for that World Cup. A team that, as I said, I would think would get out of their group, and a team that I think can be a problem in knockout rounds. That's where I see the men's US team. And Canada have got a great foundation now to build upon that. It's just down to what Canada want to invest and how much they want to put into the game. Because you're always going to have the European nations there or thereabouts because it's part of our culture. It's our national sports. You know, you are competing against other nations where it is their national sport. It's their number one sport. It'd be like these nations competing against you guys in American football. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'd be so far behind. I wonder what... I mean, I don't watch American football, but I wonder what nation would... Because I don't even know if you do internationals, do you, for a NFL? I don't know that... has the US got an NFL American football team? Is that even a thing? Because it's a shame there's no World Cup for that. Could you imagine an NFL, like, American football World Cup? Like, could you imagine how big of an event that would be? That's something that you could explore. You should watch Beach Football Top 10 Goals compilation, says Guillermo. Guillermi. Butchered that. I already know I've butchered that, but just know that I didn't mean to butcher that. Should I? Yeah. Should I? Beach football. I can't say it's anything that's ever been on my radar, but maybe it's got some Brazilian samba to it. That's what it sort of suggests. I can't imagine they're playing on the beaches of Bournemouth, on the beaches of Blackpool. Did you see that Japan fans helped clean up the stadium after the win, and the Japan players left origami swans of themselves? No, I didn't. So weird, isn't it? Like, it's just strange that they do that. I mean, it's really cool that that's part of their culture. I hope they don't lose that. I mean, it's something that the rest of the world could learn from. But you get the feeling the rest of the world probably won't. You get the feeling it's probably more likely that Japan will stop doing that than the rest of the world will join in with doing that. But that's really cool, isn't it? It's really cool that that's their culture and their attitude. No, I didn't see the origami swans that they left. Ball going over to the left-hand side in the middle, headed clear by Ghana. It's been a while since we've seen any shots. Ball being passed back. Ghana on the ball. Portugal are the ones that are in Ghana's half. Ghana struggling to get out of their own half, but I must admit it's not like what we saw from Canada, like a barrage of shots here. There's only been 4. There's only been 1 on target by Portugal. Beach football is getting popular in the Bahamas, says Bahama SC. Ronaldo, said Main Vinny. Ghana are passing fast, says Harith. Man United stock has increased by 50% in 5 days. Jeez. Tasty. Ghana knocks another Portuguese player down, said Harith. Andy said it was really amazing knowing that the fans clean after themselves and not leave a mess of even broken chairs. Ball whipped in the middle, headed clear by Ghana. We're into the 28th minute. Portugal on the ball, playing it over to the right-hand side. Cancelo. Onto the wing, coming back to Cancelo. Whips it into the centre. Back post, goes over everyone's head. Player at the back, unmarked. Pulls it back, edge of the area. That's an awful shot. That's an awful shot. João Felix, I mean, he really is heralded as this fantastic young star. He's been someone that's been on radar for quite a while. But there's been a couple of times now where he's played a ball into Ronaldo. It's been really overhit. And there, he's got to be hitting the target there. Skying it over. I actually don't know how he's Salisu trying to clear the ball. Little bit of lag there. Bruno goes down. That's a foul on Bruno. Foul on Bruno. I just wanted to have a look at João Felix. The second golden boy from Portugal, consecrated in 2019 when Benfica sold him to Atletico Madrid for 126 million euros. Despite winning La Liga in 2021, the young forward has seemed like someone outside his natural environment at Atletico, in constant conflict with the style of the coach, Diego Simeone. In October's home game against Club Brugge in the Champions League, he threw his vest to the ground. When he realised he wasn't going to come on in the next training session, he made a gesture of silence when he scored a goal. It is hard for me to get the best out of João. It is a problem I need to solve, said Simeone. His performances for Portugal show the problem does not start and end with the coach of Atletico, though. So that's interesting, isn't it? João Felix moved for 126 million euros. He really was seen as the future. He's only still 23 years old. But club issues and, seemingly, as we've seen here, not brilliant performances. Here's Ronaldo. And he puts it... Oh, it's a nice finish by Ronaldo. But it's not going to count. There's a foul. Ronaldo picks up the ball. He does put it in the back of the net. Ronaldo throwing his dummy out of the push. So a push. He's been penalised for that push. It's a lovely finish. So the goal does not stand. Ronaldo scores, but the goal does not stand. Half an hour gone already, still 0-0. Here come Ghana. Ghana trying to play a ball through. We've not seen any shots by Ghana. And Portuguese player going down. João Felix is the one that goes down there. My doctor has me on red liquid methadone for pain relief. So much better on my stomach than pills, said Long Beach Hippie. Hope you're well, dudes. AWC Legend said Apple are interested in United's Trafford. Yeah, heard. It's. I think it's great news. I really hope they put a bid in, because it's not really much to them, is it? Apple are not a company that are struggling for money. Let's have a look, see how much Apple are worth. Apple, how much are they worth? How much are Apple worth? According to Macro Trends, Apple's net worth is 2.3 trillion. That is $2.3 trillion. 2.3 trillion. Buying Man United would cost about 6 billion. About 6 billion. And they're worth 2.3 trillion. I mean, the things that they can do are just unimaginable, aren't they? Ball being whipped into the middle, bouncing around, and it goes out of play. Suppose I'm surprised we don't see more advertising from them and we don't see more stuff. I'm surprised that like every advertising board there doesn't just say Apple constantly and during every game. Ball being whipped into the centre, straight into the hands of the keeper. What's after trillion? I don't know. Is it zillion? Is zillion after trillion? I mean, honestly, that's a great question because I don't even know. I'm going to have to search for it. What I think is it zillion? What is after trillion? After a billion is a trillion, then it's a quadrillion, then it's a quintillion, then it's a sextillion. That was my nickname at school. Then it's a septillion, then it's an octillion, nonillion, and a decillion. So there is no zillion. I thought there was a zillion. There's no zillion. So million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Quadrillion is after that. Million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Quadrillion. So there we go. All you zillion fans. It's not a thing. Right, ball being passed around by Portugal in their own half. There is no zillion. I want a sextrillion, said Andy. Steve said dayzillion means priceless. Dayzillion. It means about £10.55. That's what a dayzillion is. Days, to say I love United is a massive understatement. A company like Apple buying us is exactly what I want as a fan. Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well that they know how to run a successful business. So I've got to think that they would get football people and the right people in place. I mean, they're not gonna see that struggle, are they? They're not gonna buy the club and then just put like people in charge and just watch the team struggle and fall apart. Like they're gonna have pride because it's gonna be a reflection of their brand. So yeah, I'd love it. I'd love it. I wouldn't even give a flip if they called it Trafford. I wouldn't care. Imagine what a new stadium would look like. Oh my God. Boom. There'd be like sections moving, pitches coming up, going back down again. Maybe the stands would come in for like, if there's a boxing event, like a boxing ring comes up off the ground. Amazing. Just think of all the things they could do. How about Elon Musk buys Man United? Well, no, because then I'd be banned, wouldn't I? He'd ban me. And I wouldn't be allowed to go and watch them. Spotify already sponsor Barcelona, said Easy99. Corner kick for Ghana it is. Corner kick for Ghana. The ref is wearing a Portuguese shirt underneath said no fear. I don't really want a new stadium, but in about 20, 30 years, we should go for it. Oh, you see, I do. I do want a new stadium because I think that Old Trafford's amazing and you can build it in the same place and you can still call it Old Trafford. But I just think the amount of work that's needed, just knock it down and start again is the easiest thing to do. Ball coming in. Because I feel like we need 100,000 seater stadium. But as well as that, you sort of need like a complex. You need like restaurants. You need shops. You need, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like you need a place where United fans and away fans can hang out before the game and after the game. Like that's what stadiums are now. The stadiums with hotels, the stadiums with shopping centres, the stadiums with restaurants. And if you've ever been to the O2, they've actually got like this whole complex kind of around the outside and then they've got the arena in the middle. I sort of feel like United have got a clean sheet of paper to go crazy. A lot of the seating inside the stadium is really close together. Shot coming in by Garner, nothing from that corner. Yeah, a lot of the seating is really close and a lot of the concourses are like rabbit holes, like rabbit burrows, like it's not nice and open. You can't walk around the concourse and it'll be like the amount of work is just, I mean, honestly, you'd have to knock down every stand and rebuild every stand. And even that would be a problem because of the train track. So you just get to the point where you're like, just build a new stadium on the same ground. But yeah, I'd do that. Apparently, United own loads of ground around there, so they could build the stadium next to the current one, whilst we still play in the current one, build the stadium next to it, and then eventually knock the current one down and replace it with, like, training facilities. You could have a little academy stadium like Man City have got. Do it. Do it. Don't be scared of it, high flyer. Don't be scared of it. Embrace it. Embrace it. What's the best football stadium in the world? For me, it's the Parc des Princes, Nou Camp, or White Hart Lane. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's probably going to be White Hart Lane at the moment, but Barcelona are redoing theirs, aren't they? The plans for Barcelona are incredible. Incredible. I mean, to be honest, I love stadiums. It's a big thing that I am really into, and like SoFi Stadium in America is stunning. Allegiant Stadium as well, but SoFi I think takes the biscuit, man. That place is just mind-blowing what that place is. But yeah, football stadium-wise, I'd probably have to go Nou Camp, but not in its current form, because its current form, I think it's actually a bit run down, but they're redoing it, and there's a great video on YouTube that shows you what they plan on doing and the steps they're going to take to revamp it. And the new stadium looks stunning. Stunning. They're doing like underground car parks and all this kind of stuff. Putting roofs on the stadium because, you know, a lot of the stadium doesn't have a roof. The new version will. And they're going to increase capacity. United need 100,000 seats, I think. They've got 1.1 billion fans around the world. Like, I think we need 100,000. The waiting list for season tickets is a joke. So just increase it to 100,000. I'd say that that's something I would really be looking for. There's not many 100,000 seaters stadiums, and I think that sends a real message of intent. Right, here's Ghana. There's only 5 minutes left. Imagine they kept a section of the old stadium, like a chunk for fans to see. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. And you would keep loads of the old stadium. I mean, there's loads of statues and like little bits that you could definitely keep. I mean, it'd be nice if you kept, like, say, Sir Alex Ferguson's office or something, you know, like that. That'd be cool. You should definitely do stuff like that. Ball going down the left-hand side. Here's Ronaldo, edge of the Ghana penalty area. Played it as a 1-2. Ronaldo takes a shot and bounces off the defender. Portugal picking up the ball. Still not seeing much in the way, though, of clean-cut chances for either side. We've had 2 shots on target, both for Ronaldo. Ball coming to the back post. It gets caught under the feet of a Portuguese player. And I think the whistle has been blown, and I think that opportunity has passed them by. Uruguay and South Korea have had 0 shots on target. This is the first time that has happened at a World Cup this century, said James. In the interview, Rafinha said that Brazil players are preparing different dance celebrations for each of their goals. Okay, it's going to be a free kick to Ghana here by the looks of it. Legend Killer says, come on, Portugal. Big Guy said Stratford end needs to stay. Hayden said Glazers are looking for 7 billion. So you would need a small donation of 26,000 from each of your subscribers. And then Days could own Man United. That's an incredible amount, isn't it? That's an incredible amount from for them to ask for. I'd heard it was 6 billion, but yeah, looks like a few. Looks like they've got a bit greedy. I think, in all honesty, when Chelsea sold recently, it sold for 4 point something, I think. I'm sure that's how much it went for. And so straight away you go, well, Man United's worth more than that. I'm not being disrespectful to Chelsea. It just is worth more. It's got a much bigger fan base worldwide. It's a bigger brand. It just is worth more. So I think that's probably made the Glazers go, okay. So if that's going for that, we want this. Ball goes over to the left-hand side. We're seeing Ghana passing it around. Little bit of a scary moment just for them as pressure was being put on, but they've weathered it well. Oh, but they've given it away. They might get punished here. Might get punished. They've got players back, but Portugal have got plenty of players forwards. Being played across. On the wing. Whipped into the centre. Goes past everyone. Makes its way all the way over to the other side of the pitch. Portugal still putting the pressure on. Played across onto the other side. Edge of the area. Dinked into the area. It's dinked up and dinked over. Bowley was acting like a clown in the summer window, said High Flyer. Easy99 said, imagine Brazil score a lot today. What type of dance celebrations we will see. Happy Wednesday said, Chelsea sold for 4 billion with 3 billion debt on top, though. I swear this Ghana is full of BS, said Harith. Brazil versus Argentina would make a great final, though we have to make it this time, said High Flyer. Serbia are going to be dangerous, said Spencer. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Bork said, do you think Ronaldo will end up PSG or potentially Real Madrid? Real Madrid, no. I think Real Madrid have already ruled themselves out. Oh, I'll tell you what. There's a yellow card there because Ghana were trying to win the ball. Kudos. And Cancelo was on the receiving end. That's a high boot, High boot by Kudos there. Cancelo goes down. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Straight yellow. No messing around. It was a bit reckless. Yeah, he's back up. He's back up. He's grimacing, though, Cancelo. Two minutes added on time to this half, so not as much as we've been seeing. So yeah, in regards to Ronaldo, I mean, I don't think PSG will come in for him. I really don't know where he's going. I really don't know. I've not got a clue. The clubs that were linked with him are now longer not linked with him. Like Newcastle and Chelsea were 2 names that I'd heard, but I read last night that both are ruling themselves out, so it doesn't seem like he's going to go there. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be Newcastle or Chelsea. Real Madrid, I believe, have ruled themselves out. PSG is maybe an option. I think they'd be really tempted to add Ronaldo with Messi and Neymar and everything, but hopefully they've learnt as well that just adding big star names doesn't add necessarily success. It just adds more problems. You know, Mbappe fell out with Neymar, and it was all getting. Mbappe is the kind of person that does not want to share the spotlight, and he's already sharing the spotlight with Neymar and Messi. So I don't think he's going to be over the moon if you bring in Ronaldo. And actually, doesn't he have a say? Like, if you asked Mbappe, do you want Ronaldo to join? I don't know that he would want that. I really don't. So I'm saying no to PSG. I don't know where he goes. Ronaldo said he would like PSG. PSG or City, said High Flyer. Portugal are not all that, to be honest, said Bonkers. Andy said, I'm really interested to see Neymar at this World Cup. He has to make impact, otherwise he's just not good enough. The Ghana players are in a huddle. So that is the end of the half. Good half for Ghana, because only 2 shots on target for Portugal. But Portugal are the better team. If you look at expected goals, Portugal are at 0.6, so they're sneaking up to that 1 where they are expected to score. Nothing for Ghana. They've only had 30% of the ball. They have not had any shots, no shots on target. So, you know, disappointment in that regard. But equally, I don't think they've been all that troubled. So, yeah, I not bad for Ghana. Really not bad. Let's see if they can survive this second half, though. This second half is going to be a bit trickier, I think. But at the moment, there's a chance they could get something out of this game. Daniel said Ronaldo to PSG would be crazy. Easy99 said Mbappe is the president of PSG. He controls the locker room. Ledge Killer said halftime, Portugal 0, Ghana 0. Mason said, I think Mbappe is going to leave PSG for Real Madrid. Andy said, I think Ronaldo is going to be close to signing with Al Nassr. Yeah, I do wonder about a team like that, to be honest. As I said, I think what's happening right now is he will have said to his agent, get me options, find me clubs that are interested. This is the money I want. This is the least I'm willing to accept, and get me options. And then I think, you know, he will be in constant communication, obviously, but I think he'll say, like, don't bother me too much. Like, he's in full on World Cup mode, you know. This means a lot to him. This is potentially his last World Cup, so I don't think that he's going to want to be bothered too much, but equally, he's going to need a club to play with, and he's going to need a club to move to, and he's available to move. I don't know if any club could sign him now. I think they could. I don't think they need to wait until January, because he's available, he's free. He hasn't got a club. So I think he could go anywhere. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what clubs come in for him. I really, really, really don't know that PSG are going to. I really don't know. Because as I said, Mbappe has got a big say. He's already sharing the spotlight. And to be honest, I mean, I feel like the conversation around Ronaldo is that he's limited. He's got limitations now at this age. And if they want to take that next step to win the Champions League, are you going to bring in a player that has limitations? I really don't know. PSG want best in class. PSG want the Champions League. Does signing Ronaldo help them to win the Champions League? I seriously don't know that it does in 2022, 2023. I feel like they've already got Neymar, they've already got Messi, they've already got Mbappe. Like, I feel like that part of the pitch is not really the problem. If you're gonna spend some money, and it would cost a lot of money, then you need to boost other areas, you know. Do you remember, I was the kid who found the word extreme in Bray Wyatt May's thing, says Dylan. Dylan, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Hope you are enjoying the football, if you are watching the football. Dortnight said, controversial comment, but this has been a poor World Cup so far, apart from the couple of shocks. Half the games have been a really poor standard. Well, I don't think that's controversial. I think it's the first round, and I think that a lot of teams just don't want to lose the first game. So you are seeing a lot of 0-0 draws. But the point is that once we get to the second round of games, which starts tomorrow, those teams that lost in the first round, they know they cannot lose in the second round. And so you're going to see more attacking games. You're going to see teams having to come out and go on the attack because they cannot afford to lose. Really, with your first game, if you draw it, it's not the end of the world. If you lose it, that is a problem. It was a problem for Canada, but Canada looks so good in their loss that I think they can afford to have some optimism still. But I think if you lost that first round, you're in trouble. As we said before, Germany lost to Japan. Their next game now is against Spain, and they are looking pretty much like they're going home. They're looking pretty much like it's done for them. So, you just cannot lose that first round, those first games, and that's why we're seeing a lot of 0-0s. So I'm being optimistic that we're going to be seeing plenty more goals as we get deeper into these group stages. They said that Ronaldo can't sign for 60 days, says Lee. Is that true? It must be then that he can't sign until January or something. Tell me about Drayton Manor. Is it any good? It's good if you're young. To be honest, I haven't been in so long. We actually went a little bit when I was a kid. I remember we went with my cousins and we went to the caravan park. They had a caravan park. And we had a caravan at the time. So we took our caravan and I went, my brother went, my cousins went, and we had free entry into the park. You could go and just spend the day in the park, and it was brilliant. It was amazing. A lot of the rides are great for youngsters. I don't know that it's going to be that great if you're an adult, to be honest. But I think there'd be stuff to do there. Even if you're an adult, I think, it'd be an all right day out if you wanted to spend a day out. Thorpe Park seems to get more love. And I've been there, and that's pretty good. Thorpe Park's all right. Alton Towers, it's been a while since I've been. Drayton Manor's been a while since I've been. But what I remember of Drayton Manor is they've got a few roller coasters, but I don't think they've got anything that impressive roller coaster wise. They've just it's just got I think stuff more for not kids. I mean, it's not like Gulliver's Travels or anything like that. But I think if you are, say, 12, 13, 14, I think you're going to really enjoy it. If you are a thrill seeker in your 20s, late 20s, early 30s, I don't think it's going to have much for you, to be honest. But I reckon you could still have a decent day out there, You could still have some fun. I wouldn't mind popping and having a little look around Drayton Manor. Mainly, though, because I went as a kid, so it'd be interesting to see if I remember some things. So it'd be more nostalgic for me than anything else. Is Neymar still playing for Brazil, said Harif. Yes. The game said there's lots of games without goals. Yes. Mackenzie said, who do you think is the last person on Team Bianca? I'm leaning towards Becky, but if it's not going to be Becky, then I'm going with my first pick, which was Candice. And we are doing SmackDown tomorrow, and we are doing Survivor Series on Saturday. So even though we've got these World Cup streams, which I'm really enjoying, they are not getting in the way of wrestling at all. So we have still got those streams coming up on the channel. Ronaldo wants Champions League. He doesn't want Messi to break his record, said Easy99. Does anyone know if SmackDown is going to be live tomorrow? I believe it is live tomorrow, yes. I don't believe it's pre-recorded. I hope Neymar might be the player to light this tournament up, said Tortnight. That said, Ronaldo can't sign for 60 days. I would give it 6 out of 10. And I think that's fair, said Tortnight. Yeah, I don't think that's too unfair at all. As I said, my hope about this tournament is that it's going to continue to build, continue to like grow with its excitement. And by the time we get to the knockout rounds, I mean, you're guaranteed excitement because one team goes through, one team goes home, and there's sure to be penalties at some point. So yeah, it's gonna get the good stuff's coming. Don't worry, the good stuff's on the way. I am loving this World Cup in the morning and then wrestling in the afternoon, said Unlearning. That's good. That's good. I must admit, it's working really well, to be honest. It's working really well to be able to sit and enjoy the World Cup and chat about it with you guys and then come back just a few hours later to do the wrestling and have that opportunity to sleep between the wrestling and then when we like it's all just fitting together like quite nicely. So yeah, I must admit I'm really enjoying it as well. And you never know, like because of it being in Qatar, I was like, oh man, it's probably going to be on at the same time as the wrestling, and we have got that problem potentially in 4 years' time, but we'll worry about that. Well, that's a long way off. We'll worry about that when we get there. Do you prefer Home Alone 1 or 2? 1. Mark B. Television. Mark said it's been interesting so far. Long Beach Hippie said, my neighbour's dog Gino just got the Guinness World Record for oldest dog. 22 years old. Go, Gino. Local TV news stations have been over. That's amazing. Go, Gino. That's amazing. World's oldest dog. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Legend Killer, appreciate it. Steve said, what day is it tomorrow? Yeah, all the days are bleeding into each other, aren't they? It is Friday tomorrow. It's England versus USA tomorrow. It's Black Friday tomorrow. All them bargains, all them juicy bargains are going to be out and about. So, yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. Corey said, what will happen tomorrow? Will we see Uncle Howdy? It's hard, isn't it? I mean, I feel like there's gonna need to be a response from LA Knight, to be honest. I feel like LA Knight is gonna need to respond. So I think LA Knight might attack Bray, and then there could just be a glimpse of Uncle Howdy, just to let us know that it's building towards a match or it's building towards something. It's already Black Friday. It's 1 a.m. here in Singapore, said Harith. Are we getting a Bray match at Survivor Series? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, nothing's been announced and nothing's been rumoured, so we don't know if it is. It's going to be LA Knight, isn't it? But equally, they might build it for a future SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown ratings are really important as well, so it might be that they build it for next week. In fact, look at this. I've got an advert right now. Black Yay Day. Reduced from $899 to $599. A laptop. Mobile phone. Lowest ever price. Samsung Galaxy Tab $159. Save up to £70. Bargains, guys. There's flipping bargains everywhere. Days, real talk. In the States, it's a tradition to say out loud that I am thankful for my wife and kids, and most of all, Ya Dong. Happy holiday from LDTV. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Happy holiday, birds. I mean, it is a bit weird for me because, I mean, this is just Thursday for me. Like, there is no celebration here, of course. Thanksgiving is an American holiday. So, it's always been weird, like, hearing about Thanksgiving. And Survivor Series has always been the Thanksgiving pay-per-view. And even when I was young, you know, I knew about you lot eating turkey and giving thanks and all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we don't do it. It's a Thursday. I can't stress it enough. It's just a Thursday. It's really strange. But it's what's weirder is in like the past, say, 10 years or so, how Black Friday has become a thing over here, and it has no reason to be a thing over here. There is no reason for us to have Black Friday. Black Friday, I believe, is when they get in extra electronics for Thanksgiving, so that like people are buying new TVs, maybe the family's coming round, or whatever. Like they get like all this stuff in, and then there's like a big markdown after Thanksgiving. That's why Black Friday exists. But we don't have Thanksgiving, so there's no need for us to have a Black Friday. But it's a thing. Black Friday is a thing over here, so. We're seeing a young fan who's got there to watch Portugal and who's dozing off. Look, is that you, Dort Knight? Is that you? There's a woman. Look, she's got the World Cup. She's got a World Cup trophy. I'm very happy they've scrapped the interim women's title on AEW. That was bothering me. Have you ever had a proper turkey dinner? Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we'd have at Christmas. So traditionally at Christmas, you would have turkey. So, yeah, turkey, all the trimmings. What you have on Thanksgiving is what we have on Christmas. But I'm guessing you probably have it Christmas as well. Here we go then. Time for the second half. It's more marketing than anything else, says Andy. Boom. Do you play video games? I don't really get time, no. I tell you what I have got really into, though. It's going to sound boomerish, and it is boomerish. Board games. I mean, when I say really into it, I haven't got really into it. I've got really into looking at them. But, yeah, I've only ever played, like, Monopoly and Cluedo. And for some reason, I've just really got into board games. I think I was looking for a board game for Christmas for the family to play. Because I'm off on Christmas Day. There's no streams on Christmas Day because it's a Sunday. So there's no wrestling or anything. So I was like, well, I might play a board game with the family. And I don't want to play Monopoly. We've played Monopoly so many times. I don't even find it that fun anymore. So I was looking at like, okay, what good board games? Oh, wow, was that a rabbit hole? So down that rabbit hole I went looking at board games, and you know, when you start looking at some of the stuff that's out there and has come out over the years, you go, geez, you can go on adventures, you can like have puzzle games, you can have party games, you can have co-op games, you can have miniature like figure games, you can have zombie games, you can have anything kind of game, racing games, and it's a whole world then that you get lost in. So no, I don't play board games, but I am gonna get I don't play video games, but I am gonna get a board game for Christmas. Something fun. I don't know what though. Ball goes out of play. The Ghana guy shoved the Portuguese guy out of the way again, said Harith. Naughty Ghanan guy. Right, well, we are underway with the second half, and we have got Portugal going from right to left, and we have got Ghana going from left to right, and Portugal are on the ball. So let's see what they can do. Nothing better than turkey sandwich after Thanksgiving with Duke's mayonnaise and a little bit of salt and pepper. Portugal said if Ghana wants to play shove, Portugal will play shove. Dort Knight says, come to Manchester. I will show you this tremendous board game shop. You can play with other people there. I'm really into it. I bought a game called Catan, which apparently has sold like 40 million copies around the world, and is sort of seen as a board game that you play and you like get into, and then it like, you know, can get you into other games, and it's brilliant. It is so good. I can't believe I've missed out on it my whole life. I love it. It's brilliant. I did a podcast because I do a podcast each week, and we did a whole episode on board games just the other week, because I was like swooning about them, and I was swooning about that. So yeah, that's kind of where my love of those have come from. Yellow cards. Yellow cards. I don't know who it was for. There was a collision in the centre. We've got a Portuguese player down and a Ghanan player. Oh, right. The Ghanan player hacks down the Portuguese player. Number 25 goes down, and it is Otaviro. Otaviro down. So it was Andre Ayew who was yellow carded for that. Got to be careful with these yellow cards. We haven't seen a red yet. Right, looks like there might be a substitution. We're seeing some activity on the Portuguese subs bench. Portugal playing the ball over to the left-hand side. 68% possession for them so far. 32% for Ghana. Ball is with Portugal in their own half, just coming over the halfway line, playing it out to the right-hand side. Ghana have got a good shape. Nice skill there. Goes down, though. Ghana win the ball. And they're trying to find a way forwards. Harris said, I'm so sick of Ghana. James, shout out to you. How are you a positive person all the time? I don't think I am, to be honest. I think if people watch the wrestling streams, they'd probably say I'm quite moody. But, I don't know. It's not really much anything to be down about, is there? You know, getting to watch the World Cup, have a chat with you guys. It's a pleasure, isn't it, really? What is there to be down about? Well, in all fairness, loads, you know. The state of the world, Russia. I mean, we could go on. But, nah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the World Cup. Obviously, we've got Survivor Series this weekend. It's Black Friday tomorrow. England, USA tomorrow. Loads to be positive about. Right, here's Ghana playing the ball forwards. Charging, Kudus, charging at that Portuguese defence. They've got plenty of numbers back. There's about 7 players back for Portugal. Ball is over on the left-hand side. They tried some a little cheeky, little back heel. Didn't find its destination, but Ghana have won the ball back. I mean, honestly, I thought this would be no bother for Portugal. Oh, he's beaten him. Great work by Ghana. Looking to play the ball. Edge of the area. Oh, just had too much on it. Too much on it. And the Ghana player could not bring the ball down. Baba tried to chest it. And wasn't able to control it. Days, I was okay until about 20 minutes ago. Okay, why? What happened 20 minutes ago? Daisy's brother could literally be Claudio Castagnoli. You look so much alike, said Long Beach Hippie. I've met him. Great guy. Great guy. Dort Knight said, hope you are enjoying the show. Legend Killer. Ball being dinked forwards. Ronaldo got hit by Ghana. Wes said a lot of these first round matches have been 0-0. Yeah. Here come Ghana. They're breaking. They need to break with a bit more pace. They're allowing Portuguese players to get back. It's 3-on-2, but no, oh, God. They didn't break with much pace there. And now Portugal have got plenty of players back. They tried to whip it in the middle. Bounces off the defender and it goes out of play. Edward said 2 words, girlfriend drama. I hear you. Yeah, Ghana. I mean, look, Ghana are not famed for scoring goals. When we did our little read-up of Ghana, it said that was the concern area. Look at those Ghanaian fans, man. Look at them. Singing and dancing and... Brilliant. Brilliant. Love that. Ball being whipped into the middle. It's up in the air. Portugal looking to get it away. Love to just see a shot there, but it just goes wide. The Ghanaian fans, the travelling Ghana fans, absolutely brilliant. They're in fine voice. Dancing away. I mean, we saw a game the other day. I think, was it Spain? Spain, I think, were winning 7-0. And honestly... it was so quiet during that match. There was no atmosphere. Like, you'd imagine the Spanish would be going like crazy because of how well their team were doing, but it just wasn't that way. But it's great seeing these Ghana. I mean, even if this is 0-0, that's a great result for them here. To get a point against Portugal, that's a great result. So 53 minutes. We've got about 37 minutes or so to go. Going to look to whip it over to the other side. Didn't Portugal win the Euros a few years ago? Draw in every group game. Oh, I don't know, to be honest. They did win the Euros 2016. But I can't remember if they drew all of the group games. Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo on the ball. Trying to step over. Trying to dink a ball across. Headed clear there by Ghana. Yeah, it's good defending that by Ghana. Euro 2016. Let's have a look. Here come Ghana. Driving forwards. Shot coming in. Oh, just wide. Just wide. Oh, God, that was good. That was a good counter by Ghana, you know. Just wide. Oh. Hell's bells. Yes, they did draw. They did draw all three games. So they were in a group with Hungary, Iceland, and Austria, and they drew all three. Then they beat Croatia 1-0 after extra time. They got past Poland on penalties. Then they played Wales in the semi-final. And then they ended up winning after extra time against France. I mean, it's just stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Yeah. That was the tournament that England crashed out to Iceland. England crashed out 2-1 to Iceland. But in all fairness, that changed everything. It was after that that we got a new manager and... Yeah. Do you know, in that tournament, 2016, Wales beat Belgium 3-1. I don't remember that. Wales beat Belgium 3-1 in the quarterfinals. Ghana defence is a beast, said Long Beach Hippie. Dortnight said the Portugal manager has got money in the bank from his European Championship win, but he has to do better with this talented squad. His bank is running dry. That Ghana player tripped, says Harif. Right, ball being played over down that left-hand side. There's going to be a yellow here. Who's picking up the yellow? Yellow card for another Ghana player. How many yellows have we had now? Well, not as many as I thought. We're on 2 for Ghana. I think this is going to be the third. He does catch him late. Charges into Felix. There's arguments, though, and starting to get a little bit of emotion. Think this is where we might start seeing some frustration. Referee is telling them to get back. Felix is down. He's holding on to his nose. He's holding on to his nose. I mean, VAR might take a look at this. The medics have come on. Ghana worried that this could be a potential red or something. I think he's already been yellowed. Looks like there's going to be another booking here because the ref's been surrounded by players. Just having a look. Look, the players come over. He's been told to go and stand to one side. He's telling everyone to get back. This is all broken down here, you know. The ref is having a word here with Seydu. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Looks like he's going to be staying on the pitch. So, basically, they got in each other's heads. They were head to head, and the Ghanaian player pushed his head forwards. He gets a yellow for it. I don't know if VAR... I mean, VAR, I don't think would look at it and overrule that, but... This match is poop, said Joe. Come on, Felix, said the game. Portugal player stuck his head into his face, to be fair, said Tortnight. They're going to fight, said Harif. They're going to fight. Fight, 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 fight. Portugal on the ball. We've only got just over half an hour to go in this one. Ref gives a final warning to Ghana's Saidu after headbutting the Portugal player. Felix is the third most expensive player of all time. Ball making its way out, and we're going to be seeing a couple of substitutions here by Ghana. I don't know if they can take that player off, but he's on a yellow. He's on a final warning. Anything else from him, and he'll be having his marching orders. Ronaldo just looking around to the team, telling them to come on. Ball in the middle, given away by Ghana, edge of the area. Pressure as Ghana give the ball away. It goes over. Look like they're trying to win it back, but Fernandez battling away. Ghana trying to keep it in play. They do. They're going to bring it out. Trying to go down the wing, but again, Portugal winning it back. Portugal winning it high. Looked like a foul there, but the referee not interested. It did sort of look like the Portuguese player ran into the Ghanaian player. It's hard to see. Looked like a foul from distance, but referee saying that it wasn't. Put them inside Hell in a Cell. Who would have thought the World Cup would have become fight nights? Didn't expect wrestling at the World Cup, but I'll take it. Make him humble. Make him humble. You should have got him in the sharpshooter. Just needed to call up Kofi. SOS. The Portugal in me wants Portugal, but the Man United supporter wants Ronaldo to fail. I'm not really bothered. I mean, like, I'd like Ghana to do it because they're the underdogs, but as a Man United fan, I just don't really feel anything towards Ronaldo. I think with time, I'll look back on everything he did for us, and I think it'll be all right in the long run, but yeah, it's not great right now, is it? The Portugal guy will give the stunner to the Ghanaian guy. Undercover manager said, I can hear them shouting. They need the fight pits. Paul said, Ghana is being very reckless. Put them in war games. Right, we're into the 62nd minute. Ball going over to that right-hand side. Portugal playing the ball. In the midfield, Bruno. Seen a little bit of Bruno. We'll have a look, see how the players are scoring. So, Ronaldo goes down. Ronaldo goes down. Is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? I think he points to the spot. I think Ronaldo might have just won a penalty here. Let's have a little look. I don't know if that's a penalty, you know. I don't know that that's a penalty. The referee seemed pretty certain. VAR are going to look at it, but I don't know that there's going to be anything there to overturn. Oh, it's controversial. It's controversial. He comes across. I can't quite tell if who gets the ball. He deserved that, said Harif. I don't think that's a penalty, said Martin. That's no cheap. Ghana shoved Ronaldo. Penalty, said Harif. So, doesn't look like they're looking at it. Ronaldo is standing over the penalty spot, and I mean, you don't want to see this, do you? You don't want to, I mean, like, I've got to think Ronaldo's going to be able to put this away. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. Heartbreak for Ghana. They've held Portugal for so long, for over an hour. And you've got to favour Ronaldo here. Ronaldo taking a deep breath. Yeah, I mean, God, he's got Ronaldo in front of him, about to take a penalty. He must have studied Ronaldo, though. He must know which way he's going to go. The problem is Ronaldo is going to hit it with such power that it might not make a difference. Here we go. Ronaldo going to step up. And it's in. It's in. Ronaldo scores. Ronaldo scores. He's the first man ever to score at 5 World Cups. First man to ever score at 5 World Cups. So, Ronaldo scores, and it is Portugal in the lead. I don't know. I really don't know if that should have been a penalty. Goal. That's my captain, said Long Beach Hippie. Well, Ronaldo scores however you feel about him. Whether you're a fan, whether you're not a fan, Ronaldo puts the penalty away, and it is Portugal 1, Ghana 0. Ghana doing so well. Ali McCoy said, we may never see that again. 5 World Cups. Right. Let's go. Trademark celebration by Ronaldo, said Taruka. There was an image of Messi in the background when they showed the replay of him celebrating. I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Commentator said, with everything that's happened, to have like that happen on the pitch, to have that moment, that must mean like maybe a bit more to him. A lot's been said, you know, for him to be able to come to this World Cup and score in the first game, that's going to be a release, isn't it? That's going to be a relief. Lamptey is coming on for Ghana. So just over 20 minutes left in this one. 1-0 to Portugal. They do deserve it. They do deserve the lead, definitely. They've been the better team, but Ghana have worked hard to ensure that it was 0-0. The big one is tomorrow. Yes. First man ever to score in 5 World Cups is clear of Messi, says Edwards. Easy99 said, if Portugal win the World Cup, Ronaldo saying he will retire from the national team. Right, Ghana have got the ball in the middle, playing it over to the left-hand side, playing it forwards. Ghana chasing after it. Ghana are still in this, of course, because whilst there's only 1 goal in it, you don't feel like these smaller nations, footballing nations, are out of the game. Anything can happen. Shot from range, but it goes well over. So still something in this game. I thought Ronaldo was banned because he smashed the kid's phone up. No, well, I think he's banned from a couple of Premier League games, but not banned internationally. It's actually not that great of a penalty, to be honest. It went in, so that's all that matters. But it's not one that's like tucked right into the corner. I could imagine Mbappe will do it as well, said Steve. Saudi Arabia club Al Hilal are reportedly favourites to sign Ronaldo. Is that true? Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal are favourites to sign Ronaldo. Take his up to 118 goals for Portugal, says Mark. It's amazing, isn't it? That is amazing. James said, hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, it was good. Really good. This game, not the most gripping, but the fact that Ghana was still in it, and I suppose are still in it even now, was making it intriguing. It wasn't bad. I've seen worse games. Obviously, Brazil coming up next. Did you hear that Asda, Tesco, Morrison's are giving away free turkeys at Christmas if you can run faster than the security? Very good, Will Watson. Very good. Lamptey getting back. We got just over 20 minutes to go. Just over 20 minutes to go. Portugal still can't feel that relaxed. Obviously better than they were 5 minutes ago, but Portugal have got the ball, though, playing it over to the right-hand side. And they're just in their own half at the moment, trying to find a way forward, going down the left-hand side. Just saying that it's Uruguay next for them. It's true, actually. I mean, for Portugal, if they had struggled in this game, that could have been a problem because Uruguay is not going to be easy. And from what we saw earlier, South Korea actually don't look too bad either. So Ghana, of the teams they're facing, Ghana are actually the teams that you would say are probably easiest. Being launched forwards, bounces, headed on. Here's Portugal. Nice knock forwards. Defender gets there, though. Knocks it back to the keeper. Keeper clears it. Goes to the halfway line. Who won the earlier game? Switzerland were victorious 1-0 against Cameroon. And Uruguay and South Korea was 0-0. This is the third game of the day. And coming up after this, we've got Brazil. So we are sticking around after this game to go to the Brazil game. What are you doing, Wales? Don't make me listen to the other guy. Are you doing Wales? Sadly not. Sadly not. It's on at like 10 a.m. So it's one that's too early. Those 10 a.m. games are just ones that we can't get to, which I am genuinely really disappointed about. Ball bounced around, edge of the area. Oh, did you see that missile by Kudos? That was great. That was great. Rifled that. Right at the goalkeeper, though. If that had just been a little bit more either side, that could have been a real interesting opportunity. It still was an interesting opportunity. Sadly, 3 African teams have lost. Here's Ghana in the middle. In the middle! They've scored! Ghana score! Ghana score! Oh, my God! Ghana have scored! Oh, it's happened! It has happened. Ghana put it in. Ball in the middle. Slotted home. Slotted home. Wow. I mean, let's have a look at this. The ball is over on that left-hand side. It's played forwards. It just gets past the defender. That's awful defending. In the middle as well. Awful defending all round. It goes in between his legs, doesn't it? Number 13. Goes between his legs. Pereira. Danilo. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. So, Ghana get a goal, and it's a massive goal. 1-1. Look at that. Look at the fans. So, it's Andre Ayew that scores. First goal scored by an African nation at this World Cup. Come on, Ghana. Come on, Ghana. I tell you what, if Portugal lose, they've got Uruguay next. And to play Uruguay in a game that you need to win, that would be a little bit tricky, to be honest. That would be a little bit tricky. Ghana is giving Portugal a run for their money. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. This game just burst into life. It's Kudus that got the assist. Awful defending. Awful defending by Portugal. Days, turn on the stream for the early game. We can chat amongst ourselves until you turn up, says Martin. No, because I won't be awake, will I? I won't be here. I'd have to get up to turn it on to then go back to bed. And if I was going to do that, I might as well just do it. Come on, Ghana, said Window Reviews Interviews Thomas. Come on, Portugal needs to get another, said Harith. Watson said Argentina go 1-0 up and lose 2-1 to 2-1. Germany go 1 up and lose 2-1. Portugal, well, Portugal went up. Could there be another twist in the tail? Wow. Come on, Ghana. Come on, Ghana. Imagine if Messi and Argentina lose their first game and Ronaldo and Portugal lose their first game. Come on, Ghana. I think I was so convinced that Portugal were winning this. Like, I've been fairly neutral in the game, but now that they've equalised and now there feels like there's a bit of momentum, I think I am Ghanese. I think I am from Ghana now. That's how much I want them to win the game. He's going off, actually, and Leo's coming on. Ayu's gone off, and he's not happy about it. Neves has gone off. Ruben Neves is off for Portugal. I think the young wonder kid for Portugal has come on, the Leo that we were talking about before. The one that got the praise from Ibrahimovic. He's come on now. Ball being played forward. Oh! 1-on-1! And it's in. It's in. It's João Felix has scored for Portugal. Oh, that's the perfect response for Portugal. It's the perfect response. They just switched off at the back. Ghana seem to be asking for a check of a offside, but I don't think that they're very confident about it. I mean, that's Ghana playing the ball forward. It gets given away. And yeah, is he onside? He is onside. I think he is onside. I'm sure they'll check it, but Mini Sui. It's going to be a banger of a match tomorrow, said Wes. Tell you what, this one here has woken up. Dinks it in. Lovely work by Felix. So there we go, 2-1. Their advantage retained only 5 minutes after that equaliser. Yeah, we're just seeing the reaction on the bench. The disappointment on that Ghana bench. Goal stands, and 4 shots on target for Portugal, 2 on shot for Ghana, 9 in total for Portugal, 6 for Ghana. I mean, wow, they've really come alive. If you think at halftime they'd had no shots, second half they've had 6 with 2 on target. They've made some great improvements in this second half. It's going to be hard for them to get a second goal, though, you think. I mean, they managed to get that one, but here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo driving forwards. Ghana are outnumbered. They're dropping back really deep, side-footed, and it's in. It's a third for Portugal, and all of a sudden it's become really easy for Portugal, and that's surely the win now. That's surely the 3 points. I mean, Ghana were just coming back. They were just allowing Portugal to run at them. Portugal got into a really good position. Was it Fernandes that scored it? No, it's Rafael Leao, the Wonder Kid. Rafael Leao gets his goal. So it's Fernandes that plays it. So it's Fernandes with the assist. It's a lovely finish, that is. Leao. His first goal for his country. Fernandes with the assist. Yeah, lots of frustration on the Ghana bench. I feel like that'll be it now. It's a cruel game, innit? Goal after goal after goal after goal after goal. Leao is special, says Minu Samuel. Slam his drinks bottle down, said Mark. He did, didn't he? I can kind of understand it, to be honest. Oh, so disappointing. I mean, they worked so hard up until that 64th minute, and then they conceded, and then they managed to get back into it. 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. I mean, now you just feel like that's too much of a cushion. And certainly with, well, who knows how long, actually, because all these goals have come in the second half. So who knows how long extra time we're going to have added on time. Just broke into the top 50 in the league, said Wrestle with Andy. Well done, dudes. Well done. Did you have Ronaldo or something, or maybe Fernandes? I tell you what, if you had Fernandes, you did well. The disappointing thing is that Ghana have actually had more opportunities in this second half. It's just been a couple of moments that defensively they just switched off. Here we go again. Ronaldo is through. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Oh, it's saved! The flag was up anyway. Ronaldo was charging towards goal. You would have put good money on him finishing it. So Ronaldo offsides. Keeper came out, got a big hand to it anyway, though. I mean, the keeper didn't know it was offside, of course. He had to do his job, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because the goalkeeper makes an excellent save, but he's not going to get the credit for it. Ghana on the ball. If they could get a goal now, it might make the final stages of this match interesting. Portugal just passing it around, though. And they're countering. They're countering Ghana and having such success. This is where I think Ghana have kind of... They're quite far forwards. And so we're seeing the counter-attack of Portugal having some real success. Felix has gone down. Can't say Portugal have looked brilliant in this game, but as was pointed out earlier, they drew their first 3 games in the group stage, managed to just scrape through in 2016 and went on to win that tournament. Ghana trips another Portuguese player, said Harith. It's pronounced Leo. Leo. Is that how you pronounce it? Leo. I think that's a name we're all going to know how to pronounce soon enough. An absolute wonder kid. Leo. I was really looking forward to watching him, and then it turned out he wasn't in the starting lineup. He comes on, and literally a couple of minutes later, boom, goal. Lovely finish as well. Lovely finish. James said, if that Ronaldo deal happens, it could be worth 350 to 500 million a year. I mean, I can't even fathom that. I can't even. What is that a week? I can't even fathom that much money. How would they ever make that back? How would they ever make that money back? How would they ever think that they would make that money? Who's the player of the tournament so far? Who is the player of the tournament so far? I mean, if you look at the fantasy game, the player with the most points is actually Bukayo Saka, who managed to score 2 goals. Is he the player of the tournament so far? I feel like there's probably a few in the running, because you've got... I mean, Fernandes has just provided a couple of assists. Harry Kane provided a couple of assists. Bellingham looked amazing. Was it Gavi that scored for Spain, became youngest goal scorer? I feel like there's a few in the running, but I think Saka is in the conversation. Lee said Saka. Unlearning said maybe Valencia. It's pronounced Leal. Leal. I didn't hear the commentators actually say his name when he came on or when he scored. So, listen, we'll soon find out. Everyone will be talking about him. Cool Guy 11, shout out to you. Right, you can. It's gone quite quiet now. It's quite quiet. We've got 4 minutes to go. I think our next stream starts in 16 minutes. That's going to be Brazil against Serbia. Got some real talent on display in that one. And ball going out of play. And there's going to be a raft of Portuguese changes here. 3 Portugal players looking to come on. Referee having a word with Ronaldo. Ronaldo is going off. Ronaldo off. Felix off. Bernardo Silva off. So Ronaldo, Felix and Silva all making way. And we've got Paulina, Mario and Ramos coming on. So I think they're just strengthening a little bit defensively, seeing out the game. Banger the next game, said Rage Kids. Felix said, I scored. You scored, mate. You scored. Good goal. There's a woman there that's got a Ronaldo shirt on, and it looked like he'd signed it. Ball bouncing around, brought down. Nice little turn, driving forwards. Ronaldo goes out. Bernardo Silva, Felix and Ronaldo subbed. Yes. I don't know how much added on time there's going to be. This game has kind of come to its conclusion, really, now. I can't see Ghana coming back in. As we said, though, a goal now would maybe make it interesting because, to be honest, we might have 10 minutes. Ball in the middle. Oh, it is in! Ghana have scored, you know! Ghana have scored! Oh, he does the Sui as well. Bakari does the Sui. I was just saying, wow, it might make it interesting if they scored. I did also say this game is done. But, yeah, look at that. Goes down the wing, wins the ball, whips it into the middle. The Ghanaian player is unmarked, and he heads it in. This is where we want 10 added minutes now. This is where we want 10 added minutes. Yeah, it should have done so much better, though. Again, just where's the marking? How does the Ghana player even get that cross in? Why was that not dealt with? And then how does the guy in the middle, how is he unmarked? How is he able and allowed to get on the end of the ball? So the guy does the Ronaldo celebration as well. Yeah. How long? How long? How long have we got? I still feel like it's going to be a bit of a mountain for them. It's Bakari that scores. Bakari scores for Ghana. It's all getting a little bit push and shovey in there. Crazy game at the end. This thing has been mental for the past half an hour. Past half an hour, we've had so many goals. 5 goals. So, ball was whipped in. Referee just having a word with all of this is going to be added on time. Just waiting to see who got the assist for Bakari. Couple of yellows. Couple of yellow cards being shown. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. 9 minutes for Ghana. We want 10, said AEW fan. It's 9. 500 million would be 9.6 million a week. Love this extra added on time. I'm a big fan. Wes, shout out to you. Ball up in the air. Ghana putting the pressure on. It's brought down. I mean, this doesn't say much for Portugal's defence, does it, in all fairness? Ball bouncing around, goes out. And I think that's going to be a goal kick. So it's been given as a goal kick to Pereira is the one that got yellowed. So it is going to be a goal kick. 9 minutes. We've already had a little bit of that time. I don't think they're going to do it, you know. Imagine if they did tie or take the leads. Taking the lead, I think, might be out the equation. But saying that, I'm not sure that I expected them to get a goal. In fact, I didn't. I definitely didn't expect them to get the goal. So this has made things very interesting. Still 7 minutes. I agree. Poor defense, said Trini. Complacency leads to disappointment, so they had better buckle up. Harif said Portugal needs to get a 4th. Tarek said, come on, Ghana. All being played forward for Ghana. They've got it in the middle of the park. Trying to drive forward. That's lovely. Good tackle there by Portugal. Ball being played into the centre. Ghana are coming forward into the back post, but oh, no one there. No one there by Lamptey. Referee blowing his whistle. Time wasting. Time wasting. The referee. What was the referee? The referee was like... I mean, I feel like the Ghana fans are going to still have something to shout about, you know? I feel like they've... Samed. Is it Samed? No. I still don't know who got this assist. I think they've still got something to shout about, even if they lose. To score 2 against Portugal, I mean, that'll give them some confidence going forward. Of course, there'll be disappointment, but they must have expected that they were going to lose this game. Will there be one more opportunity, though? Will there be one more opportunity? There's 5.5 minutes left to go. Who do you have winning? Oh, I think it'll be Portugal. I said Portugal at the start. I think we all thought Portugal. But didn't expect this by Ghana. Didn't expect them to find 2 goals. That's what makes football so unpredictable. Ball in the middle, given away. Come on, Ghana. Just give yourself one more chance. Just give yourself an opportunity. Ball in the middle of the park. It's picked up by Portugal, though. Portugal passing it around, playing it over to that left-hand side. Oof. Leo trying to play a ball across. It's being chased after by Ghana. It's been pumped forward. Oh, the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, what are you doing? Oh, he's giving it away. Here come Ghana. Goes down. Yep, yellow card for Portugal. God, it's end to end, you know. Free kick's been taken quickly. We've got 4.5 minutes. Ball going over to that left-hand side. Come on. It's a yellow for Bruno Fernandes. Oh, ball given away again by Ghana. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. Here come Portugal. Edge of the area. Playing it across. Shot. Bounces off the Ghana defence. Ghana keep losing the ball in the middle of the park. It is so frustrating. Nice little 1-2 there by Portugal. Playing it into the centre. They're just trying to take a bit of time out of the game, seemingly. Just, ball goes out. Bit of game management right now. I don't know that Ghana are going to get that final opportunity. Come on, Portugal, said Legend Killer. Zeus said Ronaldo goals. He scored one, yes. He scored one. He got scored a penalty. Yellow for Bruno. Edward said, I've got a bet on this game. I was going to bet 3-2. I said 3-2 in Dave's prediction game. Well, looks like you might have got it right because we've only got 3 minutes to go. The ball has gone back out again. Godbring said it's going to be 3-3. There's a glum African face there, a Ghana fan. Ball being chucked in. Fernandes on the ball, playing it forward, cleared by Ghana. It's picked up by Portugal again. Come on, Ghana. Comes over to the left-hand side. Portugal are passing it around. Foul. It's going to be a free kick to Portugal, and time is just slipping away. You know what's going to happen? Ghana penalty kick in the final seconds, says AEW fan. It's really frustrating because there's only 2 minutes left. There's only 2 minutes. Portugal have got a free kick. They can just... Bruno flipping it in. Ghana have got the ball, passing it around. I really thought they would have just kept it, but instead he tried to whip it into the centre. No Portuguese player could get on the end of it. Ghana have got the ball in their defence. They're playing it down the left-hand side. Ghana just need to give themselves one opportunity. The ball is kicked out. There's 1.5 minutes to go. Quick throw in, taken. Ghana trying to get the ball in, and it goes too high. I feel like that was the wrong option. Takes a shot and it goes over. I don't know how much that was. He did fancy it, but... God, I mean, that was very optimistic, and that feels like the wrong option. Messi is going to win the World Cup, said Sherwin Plays. The fact Portugal are having to do this against Ghana is pretty sad, said Mason. I'm Nigerian. I trust them, said God Brings. God, come on. I really want them to do it. Can they add a few minutes if the ref sees time wasting? Well, it's ref's discretion, isn't it? I mean, they say 9 added minutes because that's how much needs to be added on. But then if there's time wasting during the added on time, referee can always take it into account. But if there is going to be anything added on, it's not going to be much. Ball is being launched forwards. There's whistles around the crowd. Portuguese fans want the game to end. Ghana are struggling to do anything. They're in their own half. Referee looking at his watch. Referee looking at his watch. Ghana need to just get the ball up. Could there be one more attack? Here come Ghana. Ball in the middle. Oh. I tell you what, Costa had to pluck that out of the air. And that should be it now. That should be it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I don't know what that was. We went to a fan in the crowd, and I don't know what that was, but all of a sudden a Ghana player just had the ball. And now Portugal are breaking, playing it across. No. It's an amazing finish. Because we cut to someone in the crowd, we didn't actually see what had happened. Ball is up in the air, and the referee blows the whistle. That's the end of the game. I have no idea what happened at the end there. Costa, I mean, what did Costa do? We're seeing a replay. So Costa had the ball. The Ghana player was standing behind him. Costa puts the ball on the ground. Oh, and he slipped. He slipped. So Costa doesn't even know that he's there. Costa's got the ball, the goalkeeper, puts it on the ground. The Ghana player is standing behind him, tries to run and get onto the ball, tries to run around Costa, take the ball and score. And as he gets there, he slips. It's a clever idea. It's a very clever idea. How Costa fell for that. Even got himself into that kind of trouble, I have no idea. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a game. Could you imagine if he'd have scored that? That would have been one of the all-time great goals, wouldn't it? One of the all-time weirdest goals, but one of the all-time great goals when Portugal conceded in the 100th and something minute because of him doing that. That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. Such a shame that that didn't come off. Looking at the replay, he just slips as he gets there. He just slips. So, heartache for Ghana. They, I don't know. I don't know if they deserved to get something out of that game. Whether they deserved it or not is irrelevant, really. They almost did get something out of that game, and oh, heartache. Heartache. They battled and worked so hard. I think Portugal are undeniably the better team, but defensively so poor. Really should have seen that game out. Ledge Killer says, great stream. Shout out to you. Yeah, well, that's it. It's done. The game is over, and wow. I tell you what, Portugal are going to have to be much better than that if they're going to get anywhere in this World Cup. Not a performance that really fills you with much confidence for Portugal, but we've seen loads of teams play badly in their first game and then go on to do very well later in the tournament. And so 3 points are 3 points at the end of the day, and that is all that matters for Portugal. So... right, we're going to go to our next stream. Our next stream is going to be Brazil, the favourites, taking on Serbia. Very excited for that. Very excited to see how Brazil go about this, because Serbia are a decent little team. They're a decent side, not to be overlooked. Yeah, I think they topped their qualifying group. So Serbia are definitely a side that... need to be respected, but this is a very exciting Brazil team. So We'll be back in a few minutes with that stream. Big thank you to everyone that's joined us. Hope you enjoyed the game. And as I said, I'll see you in a sec for Brazil versus Serbia.